Hey. Man, good Thursday night, and welcome to another episode of Bandog Talk with the Dog. God, da. Hey, big salute to Big J the Don. Hey, salute to you, Big J the Don. Excuse me. Big J the Don. I remember last time I saw your name, I slaughtered that it. But man, I got it now. But hey, welcome to pole position, huh? Uh-huh. Big salute to you on that. Duro Recio. Close second. But you know what? Either way, I appreciate you guys being on time. You know what I'm saying? Big salute to y'all. Much love and respect. Knock them down. Big salute to your family. You know what I mean? And thank you for the subscription. You know what I'm saying? Knock them down. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate your support. Big T, man. Big salute to your family. Jerry, what's good, man? What's good, Jerry? Welcome back. Royalty Methods, man. Shit. It's been a little minute, man. You know what I mean? But I know you, hey, Royalty Methods. I know you catch the lives later on. You know what I mean? But hey, welcome back. Appreciate you. Big Bill. Big Bill, man. How that bitch, man? How that Shaka bitch doing, man? You know what I mean? That female that you chose, Bill, that bitch is big. You know what I'm saying? Like, she bigger than her sisters. You know, our brother Manny out there in PA, he got the other sister, and man, based off the female that I have, the female that he has, and the one that you got a big ass bitch, man. So big salute to you on that female you chose, man. That's a quality bitch, man. Big salute to you. Um, you know how I do, y'all. You know, I like to let you guys into my week. You know what I mean? It's no days off over here, being the dog god. And just to kind of give y'all an insight of what I got to deal with by being the warden, right? Dealing with all these killers and hitters that I produce. And this week though, this week was a good week as far as everything um being in order. You know what I'm saying? Nothing out of order, nobody doing nothing crazy. I moved everybody in their own quarters, if we want to call it that. They own quarters, they own condos. I paired everybody up according to their pack dynamics, because I do that pack dynamic experiment on all my dogs. I do that on purpose so that I can make sure I manage their prey drives. You know what I mean? So I got everybody paired up according to their temperaments. And I got the ones that can't be paired up in individual condos, right? Because everybody got their luxury suites now they own, and it's been good. You know what I mean? I introduced, um, so I put three of my Formula One band dogs down on the fourth tier, and then two of my AR-15 band dog males, which are now the Formula One Bulldog Foundation males. They're down on the fourth tier, and they've adjusted pretty well to the energy down there. You know what I mean? The energy down, I mean, on my whole compound, the energy is very, very high as far as, competitive energy. But down at that fourth tier is on an extra level, because I have I have my so I have two females down there that are my performance pit bully females. Okay. One is Goat Times Africa, and they're about 3 years old right now. 3 years old, yeah, about three and a half. And then one is uh bear with me, I got so many dogs, I gotta remember the breeding combinations. Goat Times Tiny, female, she's the same age as that. No, excuse me, Prophet Times Tiny. And then Goat Times Africa. They're around the same age. They're down there. They're very competitive in their energy. They're very rah, rah, rah. They're very, you know, driven dogs, those females down there. And then I have Chopper the Man Stopper, the AK-74 Bandog. You already know what time he's on. You know what I mean? He's very rah, rah, rah. I got a Formula One Bulldog, aka AR-15 Bandog down there, female. She's down there. I have my Malinois bitch Coco down there. I got my Kangal bitch from Serbia down there. I got three XL Pitbull Draco females down there. So the energy is very competitive. And also I got Big Shug and Ox down there. Those are my pit bully, high performance pit bully. So the energy down at that fourth tier is, man, it's chaotic, man. It's very chaotic. So I was worried about how they were going to respond to the youngsters down there, but so far so good. The first couple of days it was kind of, the frequency was kind of off, because the new guys, when they see the young meat come in there, man, is that they try to intimidate the youngsters. You know what I mean? By just they're barking at them and just turning the energy up down there. So I was worried that there was going to be a longer transition as far as everybody adjusting, but it only took about 3 days for them, as far as the locals, the OGs of the fourth tier. They're kind of just like, okay, man, they youngsters, we cool. You know what I'm saying? We can lower the frequency down. We ain't got to always antagonize them and shit like that. So this week it's been cool, man. No kennel fights. You know what I mean? Everybody's good, adjusting to their new environments. The only thing though that happened though, I would say this, young Ready Red, young Ready, big salute to your family. The only thing that did happen though is, I'm out here with the lions, not tigers, mountain lions, bears, bobcats, all kind of wildlife. And there's a lot of bees, wasp, and things of that nature out here. So, I've been, doing my yard work in sections because I live on 6.5 acres and I use probably 3 of those 6.5 acres. Okay. I got all manicured out and sectioned out. I use 3 of my 6.5 acres that I have on my property. So what I like to do is, because it's all dialed in, I like to weed eat it and have it all manicured and shit like that. But it's a lot of work, I'm saying, a lot of yard work, because I live in the woods. So I was cleaning up the left side of my property, and that's where all the dogs are. So I have to weed eat it. And right now, because it's very hot and dry, it's easy to weed eat, and the weeds are like fucking damn near as tall as you. I'm 6'3". That's how big the damn weeds are. They're big. So long story short, big Jay the Don, I'll answer your question in a minute, family. So to make a long story short, I was weed eating all, that section over there where the dogs are, all the way up to the top half of my property. And I'm over there on the second tier, which is, I call it AR-15 Barracks. He the founder of that tier. It's AR-15. So I named it after him, AR-15 Barracks, right? So I'm weed eating down on the second tier. And I'm not thinking nothing of it, you guys. I'm just doing what I do, man. It's a hot day. I'm putting in the work because I'm built for the work. I ain't afraid of work. But anyway, man, I'm weed eating, y'all. And I'm like weed eating around this tree. And I just get this sharp stab to my thumb, right? So I'm thinking I might have hit a rock and it just hit me in the thumb, right? Because I just felt this sharp ass stab to my thumb. And I'm like, right? And then, of course, it just didn't, stab me, but I felt a burn. I looked down, and it was a damn wasp on my damn thumb. So instantly, I had these gloves on. So instantly, I take the glove off, and then I get shot again in my arm. Bam! And I'm like, you know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, this swarms of wasps just fly up. And man, bro, if y'all ain't never seen a black man run so fast up a hill, though, I live on a mountain. Man, I threw the weed eater down, ran so fast up my little hill. ran into my shed, locked myself in the shed, man. Bruh, when I tell you, man, I was scared for my life. And I've been around these wasps because the one thing about the wasp is they like being around dog food. And so they've never stung me though. You know what I mean? So I just kind of, I learned to coexist with the animals. Like even with the snakes, there's a lot of snakes where I live, rattlesnake, all kind of snakes. So I always tell the snakes in spirit, like if I see you, unless you near my dogs, that's when I might probably have to take your life. But if I see you on my property, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna allow you to do what you do because you live here too. Just don't be hitting, don't bite my dogs, don't bite me, don't bite my wife. So I got this type of rule in spirit with the animals here because I live in the woods with them. We share this place, me and the animals. So with the wasp, I've always been around them. They've always been around me. They've never stung me. Okay. Now they stung my wife this year because she was over there, she has a little pool and, they built like a little nest in her little pool. What she got? Her little thing where she has all her gadgets and shit for the pool and stuff, man. And so she was breaking that shit up and they stung her ass, but she got stung one time, right? So anyway, man, they hit me. And that's the first time I got hit by them wasps. And I've been around them wasps for a minute, but I was just thanking God because they could have just banged me out. Man, they could have just banged the shit out of me, but they only hit me twice. You know what I mean? But of course I was a track star. You know what I'm saying? I was a track star, man. I ran so fast and hid in my shed, man, like a little bitch. You know what I mean? But at the same time, man, that shit was no joke. So anyway, I was able to escape the others, right? And so I lay low for a little bit. I go, I get out the shed, make sure they're not nowhere around. And then I go down, y'all. I go down and I look down where they are, and they swarming around the weed eater because the weed eater's on. Now, in California, I live in California, it's fire season. Everything is dry here. You know what I'm saying? Unless you watering it. So the weed eater is smoking because it's hot and it's smoking the grass. So I'm like, oh shit, you know what I mean? And all the wasps is just swarming around that weed eater. So I'm like, damn, I gotta get this weed eater out. I'm gonna call the fire if I don't get this damn weed eater out. So I grab my rake, and then I go on the far side and I try to, creep. You know what I mean? I'm creeping over there, and then I kind of slowly come up on the weed eater and I grab my rake and I grab the handle with a weed eater and I pull that bitch out real quick and then I run to the fence. Hopefully they ain't trying to, chase me. And they wasn't chasing me, thank God. And I grabbed that weed eater and I ran like a track star with that damn weed eater, man. Oh man, that was crazy, bro. That was crazy, man. And when I tell you that them two wasp bite, especially that one on my thumb, man, that shit fucked my shit up, man. My thumb was swollen for like 3 days. It's just now going down. That shit was itching. My thumb was swollen like half my hand. And then like in my wrist, that shit was itching, man. And then my arm was all rich. So right now, that shit just now started to calm down and the swelling is starting to slowly go down. And I could see where they stung me at. But man, oh man, that was crazy. That was crazy. And I salute the wasp. I salute them because they could have banged me out. They could have banged me out, man. They just gave me some warning shots, man. They sacrificed 2 of their homeboys. You know what I mean? For the warning shots. And them warning shots woke me up. Had me running so fast. Man, I never ran so fast up a hill. Never. You know what I mean? So anyway, that was the only crazy part about this week. Thank God, even though, I got stung for the first time out here. I've been out here since 2016, and I've been around them wasps, and they've always been around me. No conflict between them. But man, they showed me what time it was. They didn't like the fact I weeded it. I must have weeded their nest or something. I don't know how the fuck. I was asking my wife, y'all, and I'll close out with this story though. But I was asking my wife, like, I didn't know wasps had nests on the ground. You know what I mean? Like, no, they have it high up somewhere or in a compartment, but it was on the ground. You know what I mean? I was not expecting that. A damn wasp nest on the ground in a tree or something like that, man. But they showed me what time it was. So I'm not weeding over there for a little bit, man. That's gonna be an area over there that ain't gonna be touched. Because that warning shot from them wasps, that sting, them 2 stings was enough for me. Like, okay, I respect. You know what I mean? Respect. I respect it. Okay, y'all gave me y'all could have messed me up. You know what I mean? So I'll take them 2 warning shots and deal with them, them swellings and itches that y'all caused me. You know what I mean? That sharp burning pain from that sting. But other than that, y'all, it's been solid. I'm loving the setup. I will be filming the completion of the kennel setup, and I'll be posted on YouTube for you guys so y'all can see the complete build. I finally completed my kennel build, you know what I mean, over the course of when I first built the bitches barracks. That was in 2016 when I moved here to now 2024. Everything is finally built, you know what I mean? So I will be filming that. I'll weed eat everything else. Hopefully I don't run into nothing else, but I'm gonna weed eat everything else tomorrow and have it real clean. You know what I mean? So when I show y'all, it's looking nice and professional and tight and right. You feel me? So anyway, like I always tell y'all, man, get comfortable, and Big Jada Don, man, just go ahead and ask your question, and then I'll answer it too. But you already know what I always tell y'all, man. Get comfortable. I like to keep it simple. I'm on that KISS method, man. I got my vodka lemonade. Y'all go ahead and roll your herbal sensations up if that's what y'all like to do. You know what I mean? If y'all like to crack a brewski open. You know what I mean? Get your shot or whatever, man. Let's get into this dog talk, man. But we're going to go ahead and cheers it up, man. Big cheers to you guys. I appreciate you guys' consistency and y'all support, coming into class. You know what I mean? The dog god is not here to entertain y'all. You know what I mean? I take this time on my Thursdays to teach, man. That's why I'm the coach as well. I like to give the game so that you guys can understand from somebody who's really doing it out here in the field. Player coach. There's very few player coaches in the world. Think about it in sports. You become a coach when you retire as a player, right? Then you become a coach. And salute to all the coaches out there that used to be players. However, the dog god is EA Sports in the game. You feel me? EA Sports in the game currently and coaching. So I'm playing the game that we all live in as dog men and dog women, and I'm coaching. So it's always classroom, man. Salute to the classroom, man. Salute the classroom. So that's what we do over here, man. We are here in the classroom doing the X's and O's of this dog man life and this dog man shit. You know what I mean? And hopefully you guys are paying attention. Hopefully you guys can apply the things that we discuss on these lives, and then you can say, damn, you know what I mean? Salute to the dog god, man. That shit really do work. You know what I mean? The dog god ain't over here capping. You know what I mean? He ain't over there talking just to talk. And y'all know I'm busy. You know what I mean? So I ain't got time to be talking. So what we do here on Thursday nights, is necessary. I feel like I'm giving back, and I hope that you guys can use the things that we talk about and benefit from it. So big cheers to y'all, man. Big salute to you guys for y'all support. I'm going to go ahead and take this sip, and then we're going to get right to it. I'm going to answer your question, Big J to Don. I'm going to answer your question. Hey, big salute to you, Student for Life Dog Training. Big salute to your family. Hey, you said you was going to hit me up in the DMs, man. I didn't see it. You know what I'm saying? Unless your name is not Student for Life Dog Training, you know what I mean? But hit me up in the DMs, man. All right, so let me ask you a question. So Big J the Don said, I'm trying to get into Bandogs, but I want to switch it up. I don't want to use the standard Neo and Boxer. What do you think would fit the bill to make elite dogs? Okay, so this is what I tell. Hey, this is what I tell anyone who is trying to create. They're trying to get into the lab. They have a formula they want to mix to create. Okay. Make sure you have a plan of action, a reason why you mixing dogs. You got to have a reason why genetic characteristics, right? Those genetic characteristics that breed shows you, that needs to be in your formula. And there needs to be a reason for the outcome. Okay. You can mix any dogs that you choose. Okay. as long as the foundation is a mastiff and some sort of bull breed, doesn't even have to be a pit bull. Some type of bull breed is in your foundational genetic mix, then anything else you add is on you. That's, whatever you add to your gumbo is on you. But at the same time, it needs to make sense to the outcome that you're trying to produce. A lot of people in this dog thing, especially band dogs, they just be freestyling because the concept of mixing dogs is cool. It is cool, actually. But do you have a rhyme or reason for it? Does it make sense when you draw it up in your lab? Because it starts first in your mind. And then, like I said, genetic characteristic wise, right? You need to be writing those genetic characteristics down, phenotypically, genotypically, to see if it makes sense on paper. Like if the blend, use your imagination and see how that blend looks. And then see how those genetic characteristics will mesh. And if it makes sense, roll your dice. That's how I always tell you. Roll your dice. And then based off of what you produce, make sure if you can, keep the whole litter, or make sure most of the dogs that you've produced off of that foundation cook-up is around you so that you can assess them all. Because that's the only way you're going to know what you've produced is you got to assess them all. You feel what I'm saying? So hopefully that answers your question. You know what I mean? Hopefully that answers your question. So let me put the topic tonight, you know what I mean, in the ticker. All right. Let me make sure that I do this with the comment here. All right. So I had a few topics tonight. No, big salute to you, Big J to Don. I got you, family. You know what I'm saying? I got you, man. And again, what we do as dogmen, we like to get in the lab. We like to create. You know what I'm saying? So I encourage you guys, if you want to cook up something, cook that shit up, man. But make it make sense. You know what I mean? Don't freestyle this shit, man. It's taking care of dogs is a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of money, man. Don't be over there just in the lab just freestyling. Make sure it makes sense on paper. Make sure it makes sense so that when you cook it up, you can cook up something hopefully good. You got a 50% chance of cooking up something great. So no, I'm here for you, man. Good question, though. That's a great question. So tonight's subject matter, man. I was listening to what's my brother's name? Buck City Live. Okay, I support all dog channels. I listen to all the dog channels because I'm just a dog man. I love dog information. So I follow Buck. I listen to Buck. Big shout out to Buck City. If y'all ain't subscribed to him, he's a pit bull dude. He got a good channel, man. Go ahead and peep, what he got to offer. He was talking about this was actually today, and they were talking about a dog. I think the dog was named Barracuda or something like that. But it basically was a pit bull that had some controversy around it, and people were saying that the dog was mixed with I don't know if it was a Fila or Bully Kuta. I don't know. Basically, people were saying the dog was mixed based off of his phenotype, the way it looked. And then he had a panel on that was, had a rebuttal about it, saying that there ain't no way that they would, mix that dog with a cur dog, and that's what bully breeders do. And Tosa, there you go. Thank you, T. Thank you, brother. Yeah, Tosa, there you go. And they're like they can't be, they wouldn't do that, and then these band dogs is shit, and they mutts, and all this stuff, all this, they were talking all this like hypothetical, like, yeah, right, why would they ruin their dog, like do this and do that and the third, right? So then of course, me being a dog man with experience, and having multiple breeds of dogs, multiple, okay, dealing with multiple high performance canine warriors, you know, I'm listening to these individuals talk about things I feel that they have no experience with and they have no understanding. And so, me understanding how an OG dogman would think, especially when you're dealing with performance dogs. And back in those days, performance dogs was based off of performance, not based off of appearance, right? It was appearance. You didn't care about what the dog looked like over the fact that if it could perform at its highest capacity for the job that it was bred for, which we talk about game dogs, they were bred to be in the pit and compete. So I'm listening to this, and like I said, shout out to Buck. Shout out to his panel. No disrespect to any of them. I was a spectator in the stands paying attention, right? I have no, there's no disrespect, but at the same time, you talking to somebody who's EA Sports in the game today, been playing with dogs, mixing dogs, seeing dogs. Like I've witnessed different breeds of dogs interacting with high performance pit bulls and etc. I've witnessed all this. I understand mixing dogs. I understand breeding families of dogs. I understand it from a person who's doing it. So then when I hear this panel talking the way they're talking, like, yeah, right, why would they breed to those curs and all that type of stuff? I'm like, I'm feeling some type of way. Now, like I said, I'm in the stands. I'm a spectator, so I'm, whatever. Y'all say what y'all want to say, but I'm EA Sports in the game. I'm like, bro, y'all don't have, y'all talking, y'all naive to think that them OG dogmen, even though they didn't have the information that we have about hybrid vigor and the scientific, terms of these mixing different breeds, I'm sure, I'm positive, right, that them OG dogmen with them legendary dogs, they probably knew other dogmen with other breeds of dogs, or they might have even been like me, a warrior breed connoisseur. I like different breeds of dogs, so I might have, 5 different breeds of dogs because I can afford it, and then also I like warrior breeds. So I'm able to see these different type of dogs and see how they act, right? Versus these people on the panel, they might only have owned pit bulls, maybe even 2 breeds, but never all at the same time simultaneously, right? They might not have the experience, but I know that those OG dog men who've created these top tier, let's say game dogs, they've either had other breeds on their yard or they've had homeboys, partners down the street, whoever with different breeds of dogs, right? Now, if I was them, I like to go back in time because, it's all speculation, but we got to go back in time. If I was them, right, I had me a yard of bulldogs and I only know my yard of bulldogs and my money wasn't like it is today, right? They wasn't them country boys out there. They wasn't spending 6 figures on DNA like the coach did, right? They ain't spending like me, right? They ain't importing, exporting like me. However, they might have had partners who got different breeds of dogs and they got their family of dogs, right? So if I'm trying to have an edge, I'm the OG. I got my bulldogs and I'm just inbreeding them because that's all I got. I ain't got too many outcrosses. I'm not traveled here. I don't got people in the West Coast. I'm just out here in the sticks in the hills, wherever I'm at. Okay, dealing with my family of dogs and my small network. And I got my dogs and I'm looking at my dogs like, okay, yeah, my dogs are the best. Okay, because that's all I see. And I'm testing them with my own dogs and my partner's dogs. Now I go and somebody got this different breed. This is real life. Think about it. You got to go back in time. Somebody got a different breed. Let's say it's a Tosa, like my man T was talking about. I ain't never seen a Tulsa before. I'm from the hillbilly hills of Virginia, wherever I'm from. And homeboy got a Tulsa, and it's supposed to be a warrior dog, and da 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 da. So I go and see my homeboy's dog, right? I see this dog, and I'm like, what the hell is this? But I see what it can do compared to my family of dogs. And guess what I am? I'm impressed. And me as a breeder and as somebody who wants to have an edge in performance, I'm like, man, I'm gonna breed my shit to this. Right? Now, I don't have to worry about the internet because that shit wasn't popping back in those days. I ain't got to worry about somebody else in my yard because that shit ain't popping. That shit wasn't popping. And I'm not going to have nobody questioning me if my dogs were mixed because people were matching phenotypes. They were matching weights and a date back in those days. What's the weight? Match them up. Let's run it. You know what I'm saying? That's how they was doing it back in those days, the OGs, old timers. So if I seen this Tulsa and I knew it can give me an edge because I seen it. First time I saw it work. I'm like, what? I was impressed. I saw what it could bring to what I already have that I'm satisfied with, but I saw something else it can add. And I might have bred some, I might have experimented with some mother dogs later, because I guarantee they was experimenting mixing dogs before they might have seen that Tulsa. Okay. And I saw a little edge that I got. I kind of seen, maybe I crossed with my partner who had a different family. I saw the edge when I crossed them dogs, like, damn, that cross was actually better than my original sauce, right? So I'm an OG. I'm experimenting without the information that we have. I'm experimenting, but I see this Tulsa. This Tulsa says, tells me, okay, well, damn it, if I blended that Tulsa in with my shit, man, if I got with that Tulsa with my shit, this shit gonna be hot. So I tell homeboy, hey, man, on a side note, I want to do a breeding with that Tulsa, man. Cool, we do it. Because ain't nobody gonna tell me otherwise. Ain't nobody gonna tell me I can't. Right? I'm looking for an edge. I might have already had an experience with an outcross. Didn't really understand hybrid vigor, but I saw that it gave me an edge, that outcross. So I took a whole different breed, crossed it on some experimental shit, because that's what you do when you're a dogman. Because every dog that has been created and that is officially a breed is a crossbreed dog, right? You had to cross multiple dogs to create a breed. So that is common sense. Maybe they didn't understand that back in those days, but we should understand it with information, right? We understand that now, that every dog that's a breed officially was crossed. Understand that? So the OGs, country boys, went to the partner's yard. He got a Tulsa. He like, man, look at this dog, man. And he let him run up on one of his game dogs. And that Tulsa is giving the game dog the business. Right? And they're like, damn, I like that. Well, I was liking that shit. I don't like it. I ain't got that type of genetic characteristic in my formula. Okay? I want to add that. See, that's what we think about as real dogmen, not spectators commentating on things of the past, commentating on things that they've never done. Okay? We're talking about dogmen who've experimented and tried these things and seen results and understand that, you know what? I'm going to do whatever is going to give me the edge over my opponent. They weren't doing DNA testing back in those days. They wasn't saying, hey, man, your dog got more floppier ears than mine, man. What is that? All that, they wasn't doing that. Wait in the day. My dog can beat yours. Run, let's roll the dice. Performance is all that mattered back in those days. All that mattered, you guys. So then, boom, they do it. Now, they was keeping whole litters because that's what you're supposed to do, right? A lot of y'all don't understand that part. I'll be telling y'all about that shit. A lot of y'all don't understand that because y'all don't really do this shit like the coach do. Like the dog guy do. I do this shit, okay? So I keep all my DNA if I can. So they keep it all. Now, you got your original sauce, your family sauce, and then you got this mixed sauce. And the experiment is showing you things that you were expecting. It's showing you in your face. Then you take those and intermingle them with your original sauce. You let them co-mingle. And then you see the advantage that you have over your original sauce, over your family sauce, right? Your family of dogs, that's all your DNA. Your DNA pool is only that, right? There's no upgrades to your family of dogs, right? Y'all know I'm the Formula One of this shit. Okay. I understand how Formula One racing, they do their thing, right? They'll take different engines from different manufacturers, and it might be a whole different team, might be a Mercedes, but then, they add their own parts and their own, that's how they do it. They intermingle the shit because everybody got an edge, right? It's like outcrossing, right? They understand that, you know what? I might need a Honda engine and I'm McLaren. You see what I'm saying? I might need a remnant engine. You know what I'm saying? And I'm red, whatever. They understand the crossing because everybody want an edge. Okay. Same thing with the damn dogs. But see, you got to experiment to understand this. You got to say, I've done it. To say, that's just trash. Oh, this dog is a cur. You got to have it. Okay. The OG Dogmen in those days, they might not have had other breeds around them. Some of them did. When they used them and they was able to compare them, they saw the advantage. Who are you, right, from the outside in to tell me I can't cross what I want to cross in my dog? Matter of fact, you would never know. You ain't in my yard. You're not me and my homeboy that got the dog that I crossed into my line. Now I see it and I compare it with my original sauce. I'm like, yo, these dogs is killing my shit. I'm not kennel blind. I'm talking about the OGs. Because I'm in my own yard, I'm in my own lab. I decided to do the breeding. I decided to do the cross. There was a reason for the cross. Right? I bumped my head when I did it. I had a vision. I bumped my head in the productions. I intermingled them with my original sauce. They're killing my original sauce. They're killing my original sauce. So what am I going to do once I see the results? Am I going to say, well, damn, I'm going to keep inbreeding my shit because that's all I got? Am I going to say that? No, of course not. Of course not. I'm like, yo, I got to do these damn crosses, man. What else can I add to the sauce? What else can I add to my genetic characteristics that I already have? Okay. So me being a dog man in the field right now, 2024, me not ashamed of mixing dogs because that's what I do. I create dogs. Me understanding the formula of every breed is mixing dogs. So I get that. Okay. Me understanding how valuable hybrid vigor is to your program. Right. Shout out to the rodeo bull. Right. Shout out to how they figured out which cross made that bull called the rodeo bull. Right. Shout out to them. Okay. So me understanding this, when I listened to the panel and I listened to how they were downing the Tosa, calling it a cur, downing Bandogs like they is pieces of shit. Like, why would you add that to your family of dogs or ruining? Nobody would bet any money on that. You know what I mean? Like, oh, such and such would never do that. Victor would never do that. Listening to that as a spectator, but not as a spectator, but as a player, coach, EA Sports 2024 in the game, I'm like, y'all niggas is naive. Y'all ain't experienced in this shit. Y'all ain't never cooked up no dog with original sauce. Y'all copycat people's sauces, but don't know the original sauce. You're not Colonel Sanders with the shit. You copying paper sauce. You're not Colonel Sanders and not giving you the original sauce because Colonel Sanders is going to keep that close. You don't think the OG Dogmen kept a Colonel Sanders original sauce close? You think they wanted you as a spectator or you as a competitor to have their original sauce? You think Victor would have ever told y'all that he mixed a Tosa in there? Or whoever might have did it, Tant, whoever. You think they would have told you so that you can go and do it? Of course they wouldn't. I'm trying to whoop your ass. Of course they wouldn't. Right? And then they knew that people like you guys who aren't experienced in the cooking up of dogs, the cooking up of high performance dogs, you who don't have experience with other breeds on your yard where you can touch them, watch them, right? Merge them. You know, you might have a kennel accident with two different breeds and you get to see the performance. You ain't never seen it. But then you want to comment on it like you know. Then you want to talk down on dogs that you've never touched and call them curs. That right there is where, especially with the pit bull community, is where, you know, is definitely a dying community, the pit bull community, and the people that's in it think they're experts, but they really not. They're not experts. They talk about OG dogmen who are dead. They talk about dogs that are dead, that they have no clue on how they was produced. They have no clue. They read paperwork and they believe it. I learned the hard way about paperwork. I spent a lot of money on dogs based off of paperwork. Me, because I'm in the field with this shit. Then I get the dogs and I cook up with it and I'm wondering why I'm not getting those genetic characteristics that's in the paperwork. I learned the hard way about that shit. Okay? It brought me back to reality as a dog man. It centered me back, rooted me back. Believe in the dog that you see. Believe in the dog that you see. Hope that you get 50% of what you see in that dog. That paperwork, all rubbish. All rubbish. Okay? Don't breed your dogs based off of the papers. Breed your dog based off of what you see. And then pray to God you get 50% of what you see. Pray. God, please, Lord, this dog that I see right now, I like it. Can I get 50% of them? And if you get more than 50%, you got a fucking producer, man. You got a producer if you get more than 50%. Okay. But anyway, a lot of these guys who are spectators and commentators, they're commentating on things of the past, right? They're acting like they're experts. And then they make people who don't understand how these dogs are even made believers in the shit. Okay. Me, because I'm not naive. Me, because I understand that if I need a genetic characteristic, I'm not afraid to go outside my gene pool. I'm not afraid to go outside my family of dogs. You know why? Because there ain't nothing new under the sun. The OGs did it. Well, how do you know, Coach, the OGs did it? Well, how else you going to get an edge? If I keep breeding my dogs over and over and over and over and over again, my shit going to diminish. It's not going to get better. Don't believe these individuals who tell you your dogs get better by keep inbreeding and line breeding. They don't get better. They don't. Okay. Now, how would you know, right? How would you know? Dog God, do it. Don't talk about it. You do it. Keep breeding your dogs over and over and over to the same family and watch. But see, you got to analyze the shit though, too. You got to pay attention. You got to take notes. A lot of y'all niggas ain't like in tune with school and studying. Y'all don't take notes, right? Y'all just over there freestyle the shit and think you know something. Nah, you need to go assess your productions and test them and see if they retain or they increase or they decrease in genetic characteristics and genetic performance. You need to pay attention. Don't be kennel blind, but look at the numbers and the notes. You will, I promise you, especially these are dogs. I promise you, that you will see a decrease in your dogs as far as ability, as far as size, strength. You're gonna see deformities. You're gonna see all that shit. And then you wonder why, right? Your competitor, his dogs is getting better. They might not look the same as they used to, but they're getting better in performance. They're getting stronger. The phenotype is adjusting, right? If you're not doing your dogs as if you were doing cars, I always use this analogy. You think the 69 Corvette is performing like the 2025 Corvette? If there was a 69 ZR1 Corvette, is that Corvette the same or is it better and faster in 2025? Is the 2025 ZR1 Corvette better and faster than the 69? Imagine if those car manufacturers inbred or kept using the same shit over and over and over again. That fucking car would be left in the dust from other manufacturers who understand we got to progress. We got to add. We got to add something new. We got to add something new. We got to make it better. We got to fine tune. We got to change the motor. We got to change the body style. We got to change the suspension. We got to change the computer. Why do we not understand that concept when it comes to dogs? Nature do that. If the alpha wolf gets dominated by an outside wolf and gets killed, guess who gets the bitches? Same thing with the lions and all. I mean, that's, they compete. If you happen to be the strongest, man, you might be able to keep that body style. You might be able to keep that lineage for 5 years as a wolf, right? And then there'll be a younger one come in with a whole different fucking line of dogs behind him. And, he's bigger and stronger than you. He's smarter than you. And he competes with you and he dominates you, kills you or runs you off. And then guess what? He takes his next level genes and run them into your bitches. Now them bitches produce hybrid vigor and they produce better dogs than even that alpha was. That's how it works in nature, man. That's why animals get bigger, stronger, and faster. Why are we not doing dogs like that? You don't think the OG Dogmen bumped their heads because they didn't have that technology that we have with the internet, Google? You don't think them OGs bumped their heads by experimenting like we like what we're talking about right now? Let's say with the homeboy that might have had the Tosa or whatever other dog he might have had that you got a chance to see for the first time that you ain't never seen before. You got a chance to see it get down with one of them bulldogs that you was, these bulldogs is the best. And you saw that Toaster fucking give that bulldog the blues. And you like, damn it, man. Like, wow. Because that's how you will be if you really live in this shit. You'll see something that you weren't educated about because you ain't never owned the dog. But you happen to see the dog and then you see it in action. You're like, damn it. Damn it. Like I hear some individuals, they'll talk about the Kangal, right? I don't ever speak on dogs I ain't never touched them, never experienced. Because I'm not educated. So why would I speak on a dog I ain't never touched and never experienced? And then they'll talk about how a game dog would run amok on a Kangal. They ignorance. They're ignorant, but they ain't never experienced. They ain't never touched one. They ain't never seen one. They ain't never seen a Kangal bite on something, right? They've never seen it. So watch this. I don't care how tenacious your dog is. I don't care how much fire and drive your dog has. I don't care how much it can take pain. I don't care about that. Even though that plays, I don't care because all it takes is one bite from a dog that is superior in power, and it break the dog's spine or break the dog's neck. Then what is all that tenaciousness and drive, ability to take pain gonna be? Then when that dog gets bit by a superior dog that has stronger bite and stronger, and it crushes its spine and paralyzes it, or it bites it in the neck, gets it right there in the neck, and it bites hard, and it pulls his fucking esophagus out. What use is that dog then? You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of people who are naive about these warrior breeds. They're naive. They think that, oh, if it's purebred game dog, there's nothing that's more superior than that. Well, then shit, you ain't bred enough dogs yet. You ain't seen enough dogs, and you ain't bred enough dogs. You ain't trying to make your line of dogs better, because if you were doing that, you crossing your dog to make it better. You're going to cross your dogs with brand new genetics. They have to be superior genetics now. We ain't crossing bullshit up in our dogs now. I don't want, you know what I'm saying? Like if I'm a king, right? And I got a beautiful daughter. And she's smart, you know, pretty, all the shit, man. You know, she's traditional, all the shit. Top tier. My daughter is top tier. You think I'm going to let her marry, especially if I had the choice, because I'm a king, a family, a male, even though he's handsome, his family is shit. Pussy boys, you know, their kingdom is trash. You know, daddy's weak sauce, their army is trash. Even though the boy is handsome and shit, my daughter like, daddy, I like him, he handsome. I'm gonna sit my daughter down and be like, look, baby, look. Let's do the notes on their family real quick. You want your kids to be weak? You see how smart you are? You see any smart people in their family? Yeah, he handsome, but you see how dumb he is? Like, that's how I'm gonna break it down to my baby girl. You see how superior you are? No, we ain't crossing now. We ain't crossing our genes with that shit. No, we ain't. They're either gonna be the same or better than us. That's how we rolling the dice. Okay, that's how you got to do your dogs. That's how, and that's how the OGs was doing their dogs. They just wasn't caring about paperwork. Paperwork was for the money. It just added more dollars to the dog that you was selling. But the original recipe, that Colonel Sanders, niggas wasn't giving that shit out. And if you think they was, you stupid. You naive and dumb. And a lot of people are naive and dumb in the pit bull community. They just be regurgitating old shit that they don't even know about. So when I heard that, I felt some type of way, because they was downplaying dogs they have no clue about. They were acting like the purebred is the best dog and all that shit, because they ain't never tested it before. They ain't never tested the theory. They ain't never took their best family of dogs and took their best out of their family of dog and crossed it with another best from another family, produced dogs, made productions, and then let them intermingle. Let your best family of dogs productions intermingle with your best cross productions, and then see what happens. They ain't never did that before. Because I promise you this. Okay, y'all need to try it. You will be surprised. You will be very surprised when you see them crosses outperform your best family of shit. You'll be like, what the? You'll be like, wow, I was in a box for so long. Why was I such in a box? Why was I so naive to how this breeding shit for high performance dogs work? You will be like that. I can see why the OG Dogmen did their crosses and didn't tell nobody. Because when they came to the shows or whatever, they came to compete and they was winning. And then they was asking, hey man, can I get the stud? Or hey, can I buy that dog? You know what I mean? They're like, cool, I'll sell you that dog, but I'll make me another one. I'll sell you this dog for 100 grand. I know the formula how to make them. You don't know how to make them. I'll make another one that's better. See, they knew the formula. They knew that. They probably didn't know this, of course, because they don't know the future, right? But if they knew the future, they would see how lost dogmen are today when it comes to creating performance dogs, especially because they make dogs off of pedigrees. They want to be 10 times this dog and 20 times that dog. Why? You think really the OGs did that? When they made lines, they made their lines off of the dog, not off no bloodlines. They made the line off the dog. If the dog was the performer of the year, top tier champion, whatever he was, killer, whatever he was, that dog was the line. Who cared where he came from? It was the dog. That's how they did it back in the day. They wasn't doing 3 generations, 10 generations. I got a line like this lame shit is today. No, if the dog was number one, that dog gets a line. You get a line. You're number one, you get a line. That's how they did lines back in those days. Not how it is today. So if I had a Tosa that was whooping everything's ass, guess what I'm going to do as a dog man? I'm going to add those genetics to my dog that's whooping everything's ass. That's what I'm going to do. And if you really think that the OGs wasn't doing that to create these dogs that a lot of y'all dick ride today, these old ass dead dogs that y'all dick ride today, if you don't think them OG Dogmen country boys was doing that, I mean, hey, so be it, man. Be lost in the sauce then. You'll never know that secret Colonel Sanders secret sauce. You'll never know it. You'll never know how to produce Formula One level high performance working dogs like the dog god. You'll never know how, right? I have spectators and commentators and haters telling me there ain't no such thing as this and there ain't no such thing as that. Well, I always tell them, well, to you, there ain't no such thing because you don't know how to make them. You don't know how to cook up them type of dogs. I do. There's a such thing as them type of dogs over here. I can touch them. I can see them. I can test them. Can you? No, you can't. You know why? You're living in fucking 1980. You're living in 1970. You're living in 1990. I'm 2024, 2025 on your ass. Nigga, bring that 69 vet ZR1 if they even made one. Bring that 69 vet over here to 2025 and let's race. Let's hit the track. Let's see who wins. I guarantee you my 2025 ZR1 Corvette is smashing your 69. Matter of fact, probably run a laps on the bitch. Guarantee it or your money back. Why aren't these individuals thinking like this today who do so-called performance type pit bulls or game dogs? Why are they not thinking like how I just broke it down? You know why? Because they're not living it. They stuck in the past. They think they know how them OGs was making them dogs. They really think that them OGs was giving out their Colonel Sanders original sauce. They really think that by reading pedigrees. They really think it, and they might, oh, well, that's, well, shit, the pedigree says how. They really think that that's how they made them type dogs. If you naive, which a lot of these guys are, and they're only naive because they're not experienced. They ain't never did it themselves. They ain't never tried it themselves. They ain't never been in a lab and cooked up their own dogs. They ain't never compared them. Never had a list of pros and cons and stuff. Okay, well, shit. You know, they do they shit off of emotion. You know what I mean? This dog is this, and they do it off of hype. They don't do it off of what they see in their face. They ain't never had a kennel accident that shocked them about how their best dog got dominated by a dog that they thought was mediocre. They ain't never seen that before. A dog that you thought was shit happened to get into a scuffle with one of your best dogs. This happens. And then your best dog get dominated. You ain't never seen that before, huh? Right? I'm sure you guys ain't never seen what I've experienced, right? I have what I call a performance French bulldog that I bred. I bred a performance French bulldog, okay? I wanted to create performance French bulldogs, and I created my first generation of it, okay? Now, this French bulldog was born the same time I had AK-74 Bandogs and XL Pit Bull Dragos. They're born around, give or take 3 weeks apart. And then what I did, right, I put my French bulldogs in there with the pit bulls and then in there with the AK-74 Bandogs. Okay. And I watched my French bulldogs, the males I put in with the males, I watched them embody the spirit of those pit bulls and bandogs. I watched them take beatings and I watched them give beatings. I watched it. Now, would I ever have thought that my French bulldog would make my XL Pitbull Draco submit or my AK-74 Bandog submit? Would I ever think that? No. But he did. He did. Would I ever think that my French Bulldog can take some, take getting jumped by pit bulls and bandogs? Like take really like real talk getting jumped and take it. Would I ever think that? No. But he did. But he did. Right? These are the things that the OG Dogmen seen, you guys, to where they had a thought in their mind, like, what if I added this to my genetic recipe? Would I get that performance I just saw right now? Would I get it? Would I ever think that a French bulldog, and I'm not mixing no French bulldog with my big dogs. No, I'm not doing. I'm just saying, would I ever think that that French bulldog would fight and take pain like as if he was a big ass pit bull built for the shit? Or like he was a bandog? Would I ever think that my French bulldog would not back down to a bandog? Matter of fact, he'd take the fight to him. He has so much energy, big dog energy, that the dogs respect it. He can take the best of their bites and keep going. And the dog's like, oh shit, you a contender. The dogs, they size each other up. Then they give each other respect. Then I see my French bulldog backing them down. Right? This is what them OG Dogmen was seeing. Let's say if they saw a different breed or a mutt, if you want to call it that, a cross breed that was giving they bulldogs, right, the business. They're like, I'm going to use that mother. You don't think they said that? You don't think, oh man, I can't use that because, it's a crossbreed. You think they really said that? Oh, I can't use that. Oh man. No. They didn't have nobody in their yard. Who was to tell them that their dogs was mixed? Who's to tell them their dogs ain't pure? Nobody could tell them that, them OGs. They used what they looked, they saw, they used it. Regardless of what breed it was. If I can beat you, I'm using it. Period. Now watch this. The past 3 going on 4 years now, I've been in my lab producing my prototypes. AR-15 Bandogs, AK-74 Bandogs, XL Pitbull Dracos, performance pit bullies, performance bullies. I did my performance French Bulldog. I've been in my lab. I'm now, because them dogs are 3 to 4 years old now. Some of them are younger, 3 to 4 years to younger. I am now seeing my prototypes because to me, a dog don't mature in my eyes until 3 and above. So once they're 3, I'm like, okay, now I can really assess you. 3 and above, I can assess you. The whole time I'm taking notes, I'm watching you develop. You're changing in front of my eyes from birth to 3. This is me, because I'm in the field with the shit. Okay, I'm a player coach. I'm in the field with it, right? I'm assessing my productions. All right, I'm seeing you. Okay. When I produced my Bandogs from my foundation with AR-15 and his sisters to AR-15 Bandogs, which is AR-15's productions with Tigers, to AK-74 Bandogs, which is AK-47 Chopper, to Nina 9 and Silver Bullet and all of them. My goal was to produce dogs with maximum prey and man drive, with superior athleticism, dog awareness, and on-off switches, and wow factor. That was my whole shit. That was in my notes. Okay, I don't know nothing until the dogs show me, because they were first drawn out on paper. Okay. I sell them to clients, they have them, whatever. They're learning the dogs just like me. Okay. So I don't have no solid data until I create the solid data as the dogs mature, as I'm writing down the data, right? So for those guys on Buck City's panel who were talking down on band dogs like they were shit and like game dogs is, way more superior than band dogs and shit like that. Well, I would have to say this, okay? Not every band dog is created equal, just like not every game dog is created equal. So we're going to say it like that. And I would never generalize that like they were doing, right? Because they don't have no experience. You gotta have experience, okay? My AR-15 band dog recipe ain't nothing to fuck with. Them particular dogs, and even my AK-74, but I'm the one with that. The other ones are with families, and they're not going to be able to test. They're not going to test their dogs like I'm gonna be able to test my dogs, right? So they're good family protectors, and that's what I want them to be. And I don't want my consumers having to deal with dogs that's killing other dogs and things of that nature. I don't want them to deal with that. So I'm glad that the dogs that I sold to that are family protectors are good dogs. They're good dogs, and they're not in an environment where they got to show what I put in them goddamn dogs. Maximum prey and man drive. They don't have to show that they could be good companions. Anyways, I have an environment where dogs are testing each other. One of my consumers has an environment where his dogs are testing each other. And we've already talked about this, but when I hear stuff like that coming from a panel who don't have experience with particular type dogs, and especially band dogs in particular that were bred to be superior in every way, performance-wise. When I hear that about band dogs and game dogs who do this and that too, band dogs and stuff like that, I think about my AR-15 band dogs, and I think about my client in New York who has that dog Rum. Y'all heard me tell the story already, okay? But for those who's watching this episode, we got to remind you. When I hear that, and I sell a dog to my brother out there in New York who's a dog man like me, who has multiple breeds. He's a dog connoisseur, warrior dog connoisseur. Big salute to my family out there, right? Spent bread with me, believed in my vision and all that shit. Bought one of my prototypes, Red Rum, AR-15 times Tiger's son. AR-15 band dog is what I called it, okay? He has this dog, and he has all kind of different breeds from multiple game dogs and all them bloodlines you talk about. He's a real dog man connoisseur. He spends the money. He's got Mastiff crosses, and he's got all kind of shit. Rottweilers, Malinois. He's like me. He's a dog man connoisseur, so I respect him in that way. When he tells me that my dog that I sold him is killing all his top dogs, killed 2 of his game dogs. Not no bullshit. He ain't fucking with no bullshit. He spent big bread with me. He ain't fucking with no bullshit. I didn't sell him no bullshit. I know he ain't fucking with no bullshit. Killed 2 of his top tier game dogs. Killed them with ease. Like with ease. Killed his Malinois. Y'all heard me tell the story. Killed his Malinois, ate him. Not only killed the Malinois, but ate him. Then dug the Malinois up out of the grave, took his head, had it on the front porch, and was chewing it like it was a bone. Had his whole head on the front porch. Recently just killed his own son. Okay? These are the band dogs that I produce. Maximum prey, maximum man drive. I put that in my dogs, and I have that in my notes. Maximum prey, maximum man drive, superior athleticism, right? On-off switch. Because we don't want no liability. I don't produce liabilities now. On-off switch, dog awareness, wow factor. That dog meets all that above, all that and above. That dog meets. But at the same time, My client don't run his yard like I run my yard, right? He encourages that type of energy because that's the type of man he is. He's that type of man. You know what I'm saying? So respecting him and his program. Me, I nip that type of shit in the bud during my puppy pack experiments. Y'all heard me talk about that many times. Okay, my pack dynamics experience. I nip that shit in the bud because I don't need no dead dogs. I don't want my dogs killing each other. So I make sure I teach him not to do that. But see, his dog don't know any better. He hasn't taught his dog to not kill. But it's in that dog. Now that dog is bloodthirsty. Bloodthirsty. So when I hear individuals talk down on band dogs, and I listen to it like, bro, you ain't never touched one of my band dogs. Right? You know, you breed your game dogs like this. I don't breed my game dogs like how you breed. I don't breed my band dogs how you breed your game dogs. I'm looking for best to best. I'm utilizing hybrid vigor. I'm using multiple breeds. I'm getting better than the parents and the grandparents, the great-grandparents. I'm getting better based off of my breeding techniques. You pigeonholed. You might get a one-trick pony that performs this way. You might see it just in your small environment of competition and see it as a winner. You might. But I put way too much genetics in one dog. Way too much. Way too much power and intensity and strength in one dog. Right? Because I don't pigeonhole my breeding program. You did. So for you to say band dogs is shit and these purebred game dogs are all that, somebody who's experienced top tier game dogs and top tier this dog and that dog, and I've seen carnage in my own yard that I nip in the bud, but then I see fatalities in my consumer's yard. When you say that to somebody like me, it's like, well, you know, luckily we're not back in time, because, you know, you would have to prove it to me that my band dogs is shit, my band dogs is curved. You would have to prove that to me. And based off of the genetic recipe, I would put triple the money down if that's what we were doing, because I know the genetics ain't gonna fail me. It's like a 69 ZR1 versus a 2025. It's not gonna fail me. Your dogs ain't built for that type of shit. You didn't build your dogs for that type of combat. You have dogs still from 1980 and 1990. How's that dog gonna compete with my band dogs as a 2025? Got everything your 1990, 1980 dog in it, but has way more. How is it gonna compete? How? Is that dog gonna outbite my band dog? Is it gonna overpower my band dog? No, it's not. The bone gonna be stronger, hybrid vigor. The hide gonna be stronger, hybrid vigor. The muscle gonna be looser and bigger, hybrid vigor. The lungs are gonna be bigger, hybrid vigor. The heart gonna be bigger, hybrid vigor, right? The bite force is gonna be stronger. The intensity is, I mean, come on, man. That's how it is. That's how we do these dogs. That's how you make better performance dogs. But y'all want to say that the OGs didn't know that back in the day. The OGs didn't bump their head on that back in the day. Like I've bumped my head on it by cooking up dogs. And I got the information to tell me that shit works. I got all the shit from the past to tell me, yo, that's how you cook up better dogs. Okay, don't pigeonhole your genetics. Performance dogs, looks is last. The way the dog look is last. Performance is first. What is going to get me performance? Hybrid vigor. What is going to make sure and guarantee damn near that my productions are going to be better than the parents? Hybrid vigor, not inbreeding. So for you as a spectator to downplay a cross and say that the OGs wouldn't do this and do that, and that and calling a dog a cur that you ain't never touched, man. I mean, like I said, no disrespect, but man, y'all naive. Y'all ain't experiencing this shit. You ain't got the data. You ain't got the dogs. I would never downplay a dog I ain't touched. I don't care what breed it is. I ain't downplaying it if I ain't never touched it. And every dog is an individual, but if I ain't never touched a breed to see, what that breed has in store for me performance-wise, I'm not downplaying it. Oh, man, I'm not going to say, oh, my Bandogs would kill a Kangal if I never touched a Kangal. I'm never going to say that. I'm like, man, I don't know. I'm going to be real with you. I don't know. Yeah, I put the performance in this Bandog, but I mean, I've never seen a Kangal get it in. So I'm not going to say my dogs can be the Kangal because I ain't never seen it. I ain't never seen it. But there's a lot of people who speak on other dogs and they call them this and they call them weak and curs and all that shit. And they've never touched it in their life. They never seen it in their life. That to me had me stirred up to where I was like, man, I got to talk about this shit, man, because it's just so many people are misled. The pit bull community is lost, man. They living in the past. They have not came out of it yet. They're talking about dogs that's dead. Who does that? Why? Where are the dogs today? Granted, we're not doing what they did in the past, so we shouldn't even be talking about dogs in that way. But I'm saying performance-wise, where are the top-tier performing type dogs today? Who are the forerunners of top-tier performance working dogs today? That's what we should be building on. We as dog men, we should have a collection. If the dog is dead, then you should have his semen stored on ice. Almost like an antique car in your garage. I got a semen on ice just in case if I want to cook off of that again and make a, just like how Dodge did with the Hellcat and, took that old school, 1970 body style and then made it 2024. Right? That's how we should be doing dogs. What's it going to take? You think that 1975 Charger has the same engine as that 2024, 2025 Charger Hellcat with the supercharger? You think it got the supercharger in it from 1975? No. Are the lines a little bit smoother? Yes. The suspension better? Yes. Did they make the dog the same way? Excuse me, did they make the 75 Charger the same way they made it in 2024, 2025? No. Did they use the same parts? No. Why are you doing dogs that way? And then thinking in your mind that them dogs of the past is better. Why? I know why. Because you ain't in the lab cooking. That's why. You ain't in the field touching dogs, assessing dogs, analyzing dogs. That's why. Okay? That's why. So when I hear this and I'm in the field with this shit, I'm touching multiple breeds of dogs. I got a Kangal. And shout out to my experience with my Kangal. Okay? My Kangal is so sweet. She's a guardian dog. You could tell she is bred to guard and protect the livestock. Man, she's a sweetheart. But her abilities, man, I don't second guess what she could do if she wanted to. The size of her mouth and the size of her teeth. When I see that bitch get at it, when she get hype, when I see her jump up and get crazy, when I hear her bark, how loud and vicious it is. Oh, I mean, When her shit get turned, I already know that she can probably do some damage. I don't need to see her do it to know that, you know what, bitch, by your genetic characteristics that I'm watching, your aesthetics, oh, if you was really in that mode, I can see you doing damage. I can see your big mouth biting down on one of my pit bulls and crushing it. I can see why them jaws produce 750 pounds of pressure. Okay? I can see that. Now, if you ain't never seen a dog in person like that, how are you going to tell me that a pit bull going to beat that dog? How are you going to tell me a game pit bull going to beat that dog? One bite. If that damn Kangal bit your dog's head with his big ass mouth, that big ass mouth of his or hers, bit your dog's head, it'll crush it. What your dog going to do with a crushed head? But spaz out. Be in convulsions because, brain damage. What's it going to do? I don't care how game it is. I don't care how much drive it got. All it takes is one of those bites in the right area. What if that Kangal bit it in the spine, in the back? What your dog going to do? Your game dog. What is it going to do? It's going to be paralyzed. It ain't going to be able to move. See, this is why we can't be just commenting without experience. You can't. You can't tell that to a real dog man like me, who got these dogs in front of my eyes. Right? Y'all know I got a mountain wall for my nephew. It's only been like a month. Okay? My nephew told me that, she's soft. She's got, tenacity, but she's soft. And that's because of the energy that is my nephew. You know what I'm saying? He had her as a pet. She's been on my yard for like a month and some change. And she thinks she's part of the yard. When she first came here, she wasn't. She was in a shell. She was intimidated by the energy of the yard. Now she thinks she wanted him. Now, in my mind, could she handle a conflict with the dogs on my yard? No. She wasn't raised. She didn't go through that puppy, dynamic stage where she had to be a gladiator and learn how to reconcile with other breeds of dogs. She had to be tough. She didn't go through that stage that I teach all my dogs, all my puppies when I have them from born till about a year old. I put them through that. So I know, even though in her mind she's embodied the spirit of the yard, she's not built for that. The Malinois are sensitive dogs. Not weak, but sensitive. Okay, I can see that in her. She's grown very attached to me. She know I'm the alpha. She likes my energy toward her, and I like her too. But I know as a dog man that she couldn't match up when it comes to the roughness and the things that my dogs have experienced that I've raised as pups. She couldn't compete with that energy. She would cur out. I know she would. Now, for me, and what I'm going to use her for, am I going to add that ability for her to be tough or her offspring to be able to handle that? Yeah. Could I have taught her how to handle that through my experience? Through my experiment, through the puppy packs? Yeah, I could have taught her that. Yeah, she would have had to. All my dogs have to learn it. So she would be tougher than the average Mal if I had her as a puppy and I put her through my puppy dynamic pack experiment with all them different breeds. And she had to be in gladiator school and learn how to reconcile when it came to confrontation. Because that's what I'm teaching my dogs that have high prey drive, not to kill their pack brothers and sisters. Even though it's in you to do it, you know that I don't allow it as the pack leader. Right? That's discipline I'm teaching my dogs. So I knew I could toughen her up, but I didn't have her. I got her when she was 2. But to see the spirit in her, I'm pleased. I'm pleased. I'm like, okay, that's a plus. Okay. It's my job to make your genetics better by cooking you up with the right dog that's going to make your offspring better than you. That's my job. That's my job. Okay. But I can see how the dogs are adapting. Now, if I seen her get into a scuffle and she showed me something different, right? And there's something that I can use in my pit bull program and I wanted to add it to my pit bulls, I mean, I could throw that in there too. You don't think the OGs was doing that shit? Goes back to what we talking about. If they had a Mal or a German Shepherd that was, whooping ass, had a lot of stamina, whatever it was that they saw, like, yeah, this German Shepherd is special. Man, let me go ahead and breed this shit and take the one that looks most like a pit bull out of that shit and use it in my formula. You don't think them OGs was doing that? Come on, man. Come on, naive pit bull so-called experts. Come on, man. You really think so? Well, then if you think so, stay in your box. All right? Stay in your box. Stay in the past. You will never know them OGs' secret recipe. You'll never know. You have no clue. You're naive. You'll never get it. And your dogs will stay in a box. Okay? They will stay in a box. They will never progress. Okay? Your dogs will never progress. And like I said, if you guys want to test what I'm saying in theory, do what I just said. Take your family of dogs where you just inbreed, line breed, those productions, and then you take the best. It's got to be the best now. From that line, male or female, and then you find the best from an outcross outside of your yard. The best. Got to be the best. And genetic attributes, performance best. Not pedigree best. Genetic attributes best. Breed them together. Take those offspring with your offspring. Make them compete. Not fight. We don't do that. Make them compete in other ways. And I promise you, you're going to be a believer of hybrid vigor. You will be a believer of that old rugged cross that they talk about. You will understand why the OGs had secret sauces that you would never know about. You will be a believer. Okay? Go ahead and create you a Bandog like me. Take different breeds that you like. Top tier though. Don't skip on the genetics now. Take the best of the breed if you're getting one, right? Right? Take the best of the shit. You don't get no weak shit. Cook them up together. Cook them up. Take the offspring and test them. Watch what you get. Watch. You'll be a believer then. You're like, damn it, bro, this dog is a damn. Like, you'll be a believer. But of course, you got to be in the field to talk like this, to have conviction like this, what we talking tonight, to have an understanding of the breakdown, like how I'm talking tonight. You have to be in the field with the shit. You can't be speculating. You can't be over there talking about something that you ain't never did before. Because it will humble you when you've done it. It will humble you when you see a breed of dog like a Tosa, right? And you see why them dogs are what they are. And you're like, okay, well, damn it, man, this dog might kill my damn game dog. It's like you'll respect it. Like, this dog could probably kill my game dog. You would never call that dog a cur if you had it in your hands. You respect it. Right? You would give it its props. Man, that dog, that Tosa, whatever, that's top tier, man. That game dog, that's top tier. That Fila, that's top tier. That Mastiff is top tier. You know, whatever it is you said, German Shepherd, that's top tier. Like if you see the dog and it's showing you top of the tip of what it is as a breed, you're gonna respect it. You're not gonna downplay it. You're not gonna fucking be stupid and be like, oh man, that dog can't beat no game dog. Until it get beat. Until it dies and right in front of your eyes, right? Until you have a kennel accident and you see your best dog get killed. Then what you gonna say? You gonna lie? Oh, that was a fluke. Oh, that's what you gonna say? Or you gonna be like, damn it, man, that that toaster just killed my game dog. Or like how my client said, you know what I mean? I mean, he just kept it real. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, my boy Rum killed my game dog, killed him, killed two of them, two of his males. Separate occasions, of course, but killed him. But what? What's he gonna say? Oh man, the Bandog is never gonna beat my game dogs because that's all. I mean, they got this line. He a real dog, man, so he ain't gonna say that. But a lot of you guys who ain't never touched any other dog but a game dog and shit, that's what you would say until you witness it, and then you're humbled. You're humbled when you witness it. When you see carnage, when you have yard accidents. And you see damage, it makes you feel some type of way. I'm gonna speak for myself because my dogs are like my kids. When I see damage that they inflict on each other, I don't feel good about it. I scold them when they do it. I say, see what you did to yourself. I talk to my dogs like as if you're talking to your children. Look at what I gotta clean up because of you dumb motherfuckers. That's how I talk to my dogs. Okay? I don't encourage that. It's in them already. Okay? It's in them. I put it in them genetically to be savage killers. So when they do it amongst our pack, me as the head warden, I don't tolerate that. They know it's punishment time. Because that's not what I designed them for in my yard to do. Okay? These are my dogs that I use to breed. And then I condition my dogs. I want them to look their best. I want to see their level of performance. I already know they can bite. I see them do it to them. I've been seeing them bite on each other and fuck each other up since they was puppies. I know they can bite. That's what they do. That's the dog. That's how they communicate. They bite. I know they can kill. I've had puppies kill each other. None of my older dogs have killed each other because they've learned that we don't do that on the yard. And plus, I don't put them in situations where, you know what I'm saying, it's going to be funk. I would never put AR-15 with Shaka. Okay, I already know that if I did, they're going to fight. I already know this. So I would never do it. So guess what? I'm never going to have that type of incident on my yard. I would never do it. Even when I had them, like, y'all seen that, I posted that shit on my IG, where I had them like kind of next to each other. They wasn't sharing the same kennel space, but they had a space. But you seen how they was trying to get at each other through the damn, I mean, they're just pacing at each other, trying to get at each other. Shaka done bent them steel bars. I showed y'all that too. He done bent that bitch open. That's how strong his fucking jaws are. That boy ain't got no teeth because he bite metal and he bends them with his strong ass jaws. He bent them metal bars trying to get at that boy AR-15. Now I got him moved because it's just too much. They can't even be near each other. It's too much. That's the energy that I understand in my dogs. I don't need to test them as far as fighting or biting. I don't need to. I know that they will get it in. I know that they will get it in. It's in their genetics. They show me, Daddy, if you just let me out. If you just let me, I do not like him. I can't stand him. He think he the shit. That's the energy that they tell me all the time. I can't stand AR. That's what Shaka says. AR says, I can't stand Shaka. Shaka think he the shit. Shaka's old. Shaka's old. He ain't better than me. That's what AR says to me. Shaka says, I'm going to bite through this goddamn steel bar. I ain't got no teeth, but I'll bend this steel bar to get at your ass. And that's what he did. I had to move him out the way. That's enough for me. I don't need to have them fighting. Oh, yeah, I don't need to. I already know. Okay? So, again, we know I ain't got to be on the OG's yard to know that they cross other breeds and they fucking game dogs. I don't have to be on the yard. I know because I cross breeds and I see the value of it in my band dogs. I see the value when it comes to performance in my band dogs. I'm going to be crossing a Kangal with AK-47 chopper. I'm going to be crossing a Malinois with AK-47 chopper. You know why? Because on paper, I see the value of it. Period. Why? Because there ain't nothing new under the sun. They've been doing it. That's how they create these breeds that we love today. Crossing dogs. That's how they created my rodeo bull that I love, that I respect, that I admire when I see that bull, the strength and just the muscle and this, just that bravado of that rodeo bull, man. I love to see that. That's a majestic animal to me, a rodeo bull. I love it. But that cross, was genius. You average pit bull wannabe expert dog guys who think you know everything about how the OGs was cooking up dogs and they only inbreed and all that other dumb shit. Okay, you would have never produced what we see as that rodeo bull today. You would have never thought outside the box and bred the different type of bulls that they use to make them rodeo bulls. You would have never thought, because you would have said, oh, that fucking bull's so frail, I would never breed that. Why would you do that? That's how you would have thought. Oh, hell no, I ain't bring that little small ass bull and shit like that. Hell no, that shit's small as fuck. Oh, that shit ain't mean. That shit ain't, that's what you would have thought. But the experts like myself, high level breeders like myself, think outside the box, breeders like myself, understand genetics like myself, will say, that little small bull is going to give me athleticism. It's going to give me agility. It's going to give me lean muscle. This bulky bull over here is going to give me size. It's going to give me all that shit. Let's roll the dice, man. Let's see what happens. Let's go in the lab and experiment. And then you cook it up and it produces you that rodeo bull, man. You be like, what the? Who would have thought? Okay. That's how we have to think, guys. Us on this live here in this classroom, we need to think like that. We need to understand genetics. We need to embrace hybrid vigor. We need to embrace a broad genetic pool to pull from. We need to be trying to make every dog that we breed better. We not to get caught up in looks. We need to focus on performance first. Okay? That's how we make better dogs. That's how every time we do a breeding, every generation of dogs is better and better and better and better. Better and better and better. We only go back in time to do how like Dodge did with the Charger and everything, right? We take that old body style and make it a new body style. That's the only time we go back in time and dig into the crates of them old genetics. We're like, oh man, I want to make that retro, but make that shit new. Not, oh, I want to go back and make the same dog. No, hell no, I ain't making the same dog. I love all my dogs that I got in my genetic laboratory, in my sperm bank. But if I'm bringing them back just like I brought back Red Tiger Jr., okay, he's going to be better than his daddy. He's not going to be his daddy. He's going to be better than his daddy. Why would I want to make his daddy? His daddy got flaws. I don't want to make his daddy. Red Tiger's daddy don't have an on-off switch. Red Tiger's daddy don't have the capability of cooling himself off. Red Tiger Jr.'s daddy got elbow dysplasia. I don't want to recreate that shit. But guess what? Red Tiger Jr., hopefully, God willing, with all the genetic characteristics I added to him, thanks to his mama, is not going to have none of those. See, that's how we do that. That's how we make next level high performance dogs. Okay. So, like I said, I wanted to talk about this tonight because I just heard that today. Like I said, shout out to Buck, shout out to his panel. But I disagree. I firmly disagree with what you guys were saying. If the OG used the TOSA, whatever he used, that's his prerogative. You know what I mean? And y'all talking down on Bandogs and shit. Own you one. Own you one from somebody like me. Own you one from somebody who really know how to cook up these type of dogs. Then put it on your yard and see how it do. Okay. Then assess it. Don't generalize the Bandog. Don't do that, man. Don't do that. You know what I mean? Y'all naive to the shit, man. Y'all naive to how these dogs is cooked up, man. You know what I mean? Y'all ain't got enough experience when it comes to comparing your crosses to your family of dogs. You ain't got enough experience. Because if you did, then you would understand the value of the cross. If you did. If you have multiple breeds of dogs, you wouldn't just call dogs curs when you ain't never touched one in your fucking life. You ain't never seen one in your life. You ain't never had a situation where that dog that you thought was mediocre dominated your dog that you thought was superior. You ain't never had that before. Right? You would change your tune with experience. And I'm just coming in from a perspective of experience to correct you guys. All right? To give you correction. Okay, because I'm the man now with 30 plus type dogs. 30 plus. Okay, multiple breeds. All warrior breeds. I manage them. I manage their temperament and personality. I manage them. I teach them from birth how to reconcile their differences in the pack. I teach them that. Okay, I tame the beast. All right. So I understand these things. I experiment with genetics. I take notes. I test in my own way. Okay. So when you talk like you talk with no experience, I got to chime in. So that's all I did today. I just want to chime in on that. That's pretty much all I had to say. Make sure that you guys understand this. That the OG Dogmen, them game dogs of the past, even though that's from the past, let them live in the past. Rest in peace to all them dogs. Rest in peace to them dogmen if they live in, if they dead, if they live in, salute. Okay. Other than that, we ain't on that 1980, 1990 shit. Okay. We ain't on that early 2000 shit, man. It's 2025, baby. We next level with this shit, man. You know what I'm saying? We next level with this shit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need to have my dog bite no sleeve. I don't need to show you a kennel accident to know that my dogs will fuck something up. I don't need to. You know why? Because I put it in the genetic recipe. It's in there. It's in there. It's up to you as a dog man or dog woman to bring it out. It's up to you to tune it up. If you can't bring what's in the dog out of it, then you ain't a good dog man or dog woman. If you can't bring that out, it's in the dog. You can't bring it out, you ain't good. A lot of people ain't good dog men and dog women. They don't know how to tune up a dog. They don't know how to encourage a dog. They don't know how to build confidence in a dog. They don't have a clue. Right? They're ABC with their dogs. You know what I mean? They're not advanced. Right? They're not a Lewis Hamilton in a Formula One race car. Where if you was driving that car, you would never win a race. But Lewis Hamilton in that car, he winning all the races. You see what I'm saying? If you ain't the dog guy with the dogs and you ain't got that understanding, you don't know how to bring out the best in the dogs ain't respecting you, you ain't going to ever see the top level of performance of your dog. You will never see it. Because the dog don't believe in you. The dog ain't going to lay his life on the line for you. Because he don't believe in you. You ain't never taught him nothing or her nothing. You ain't put that spirit in her or him. Right? or your dog wasn't bred for that. The breeder didn't put all those genetic attributes. The breeder was pigeonholed to a pedigree. The breeder is bred to an old school 1970, 1980, 1990 pedigree, and that's how he breeds his dogs, or she breeds her dogs. She ain't adding new genetic characteristics to their shit. They're not trying to get the best genetics in them dogs, man. They not. The dog god is, though. The dog god is, though. The dog god has data. The dog god is seeing dogs in real time right now. The dog god understands secret sauces and recipes. I ain't got to keep mine a secret, though. But I understand why the OGs did it, because they're competing. I'm not competing with nobody. This is me. This is what I do. I'll tell you how I cooked up my dogs. For what? I know that you ain't going to pick out the genetics like I'm going to pick them out. I know that. I can tell you how, but I don't mean you're going to pick them out. Because you know how you tell people shit, but even though you tell them, they still do the opposite of what you tell them because they think they know better. So I already know you're going to do it like that. Versus, coach gave me the blueprint. I'm going to follow coach's blueprint. You know what I mean? There's very few people that actually look at the blueprint that's given to them and follow it all the way down from A to Z. Very few. Most people are remixing shit. So I already know that if I even gave you the blueprint of how I cooked up my dogs, you would not be able to cook it up just like me. Because you're not humble enough to follow it to a T, right? Right? You want to work for Ferrari, right? But you got your own ambitions. And then you go to Ferrari school, and then you take the Ferrari test, and then you go out there and you work on a Ferrari engine, and you doing other shit to the shit. And the instructor sees it like, yo, what the fuck are you doing, bro? This is a Ferrari engine. This is not your shit. You want to do your shit, you do your shit. But you ain't Ferrari. You feel me? You're not going to remix Ferrari and call it Ferrari. It don't work that way. So same thing with what I'm doing. I'm telling y'all these things so y'all can understand the concept. If y'all want to duplicate, you just got to follow it to a T. You'll be able to duplicate the shit. You know what I'm saying? Then you're going to say, oh, that's Formula One. That's Formula One. Okay? That's Formula One. But at the same time, we're able to do our own. You can take my idea, my concept, and make it your own. Salute to that. Okay? But that's a process. That's going to take time. It's going to take money, etc. It's going to take a lot. But at least you're going to know. Okay? Because I'm not lying to y'all about the shit. I'm giving y'all real shit, real facts as far as I'm concerned. And I'm giving you a perspective of reality when it comes to OGs. Okay? So don't you dare, you guys over here in this class, don't you dare follow those guys who talk about shit they don't have no clue because they're not living it. Okay? Talking about the OGs didn't do this, and there's no way them dogs, why would the OGs mix a curve with their game, their purebred dogs? Please, you don't understand why. You ain't never did it. The OGs, they'll never tell you either. Because you will never get it, even if they told you will never get it. You're like, what? You did what? No way. But anyway, I'm done with that subject matter. Let me go ahead and answer any of y'all's questions, man. Big salute to everybody that's here. You know what I mean? Everybody that's here. I just had to cook up on that one there because, like I said, I really live this shit, man. You know what I mean? Like, I got, I mean, shit. I mean, damn it. I done seen a lot on my yard. I done seen a lot. And I got to respect what I see. I got to respect what I see. Period. I can't go off of what people be talking about. They ain't never seen the shit. Sound good. Always sounds good when it come out your mouth until you experience that shit and you be humbled and be like, okay, well, damn, I got to correct myself. Most people, when they see, they still in denial. They ain't going to be like, man, I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? Man, I was wrong, man. I should never talk down on other dogs and shit like that. I should never talk like I know what another dog man did in his yard and shit like that. I better off to say, you know what? They could have. You know what? Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. I don't know. Instead of acting like, oh, no, they would never. Okay, sound good. All right, so let me see what I got up in here. Let's see what we got up in here, man. Let me see what I got up in here. Be patient with me. I'm just going through y'all's questions up in here. Hey, big salute to yourself, Johnson. Thank you for tuning in, family. Okay, so T said, T said, I think it's odd how APBT people recognize that there are several different types of ABBTs, right? That all have a distinct look, but refuse to believe that, excuse me, refuse to believe there might have been some mixing done. That's a fact, T, right? How is there so many different phenotype looks if there weren't mixing? If that's the case, every pit bull will look and act the same, if that's the case. But we know that every guy, every woman who had their family of dogs had their own recipe. Period. That's why there's so many variances in the phenotypes of these pit bulls. But, you know, the common sense doesn't play with these guys, man. It's all hype. It's all name play and pedigree and shit. It ain't common sense. You know what I mean? Because they ain't really cooking it. They're not living it. If you live in it, you understand these things, man. You understand. If you're just not stuck in your own yard and kennel blind, you will understand that, you know what, it's time to outcross. You know what I mean? My shit is still the same, or it ain't getting better. One of the two. It's still the same, or it's not getting better. So I need to outcross. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. So, man, that's a fact, T. That's a fact. Young Ready Red, man. Let me see what my man Young Ready Red said. Kangals destroy pit bulls and other dogs. I mean, it's a wolf killer. How many pit bulls is killing a wolf, man? A true predator. You know what I mean? Kangals get on bears and shit. How many pit bulls is knocking down a bear, nigga? Come on, man. We gotta be realistic. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? We gotta be realistic, man. You know, now any given Sunday, I mean, a pit bull might be able to get at a Kangal and kill it. Maybe that pit bull is his lucky day. But I mean, like I told y'all, if that Kangal get his mouth on that fucking pit bull one time in the right spot, it's crushing. It's crushing. Y'all don't understand that part. One bite of that fucking Kangal's mouth on a pit bull is crushing whatever is biting, crushing it. How much damage can that pit bull take, man? Before it's like, you know what, man, it's a wrap, man. You know, it's not pit bull on pit bull damage. It's a difference. You know, you got a dog that's got 750 PSI crunching on your ass. It's a different bite. So yeah, man, you got to live it to, you know, you got to experience that shit. T just concurred that shit. He said, if your game pits is running a fade on a dog that's been bred for centuries to kill wolves, the Kangal would have had to been a damn pup. Straight up. Straight up. Straight up. T said, I've seen a game pit from Mexico get fucked up by a damn street dog. I mean, any dog can have his day, where it's victorious or it's a loser. That's why I say you got, you know, when you've been around dogs enough, you deal with, you speak on dogs with respect. You don't generalize dogs, because any dog can do damage. Any breed of dog could do damage to your best dog. So, you know, you give all opponents a level of respect, because any given time, it could be your dog's day. You know what I'm saying? It could be from a mutt. You know what I'm saying? Like, straight up. And it's just a fact. So it is what it is, you know, but that's why we talking like this, man. We talking real talk, because a lot of people, they ain't talking real. They talking fantasy. They talking shit they've never experienced with dogs. So they talking down on dogs they ain't never touched. And it's just stupid that they do it that way. It's like, come on, man. Show some respect. You know what I mean? And T says, just compare Honey Bunch ROM to Chinamen. Even phenotypically, they don't look similar. So how do people believe they're similar genotypically? Facts. T, you be hitting the nail on the head, man. Facts. But see, you got, like I say, you got to be in the lab. You got to be in the field. When you're in the field, you respect things like this. You understand it because you cooking. You seeing the variances when you breed. You seeing the problems you have when you keep inbreeding. You seeing it. So when you see it, you respect it, But if you ain't doing it, you talking off of what you heard, what you think, then of course you sound stupid. You sound ignorant to somebody who's in the lab like, yo, bro, I've cooked this way. The way you talk that's so great, I've cooked that way and it fucked my dogs up. But then I stepped outside my box and I cooked that way and I got better dogs. I got better dogs. And they look different than my family of dogs. Or they look different than my homeboy's dogs or his dogs. But we all say our dogs is pit bulls. You know what I mean? Like, man, Student Life says that's what it's all about. The proving ground, whether accidental or on purpose, you can't ignore that data. Facts. Got to take your notes. And then, like I said, I'm so in tune with my dogs. I don't need to see a fight. I don't even need to see an accident to know what my dogs can do. You know what you put in them, but the spirit in the dog shows you what that dog can do. The heart. Oh yeah. If you was in a situation, oh, you gonna give it your all. You know what I'm saying? The intensity of the dog shows you like, oh yeah. When you determine, you going all the way. I don't care what your situational thing is happening, what's happening in your situation, you're gonna go all the way. You can assess that when you've had enough experience with these dogs. But yeah, man, you can't refute the data, man, at all. T says it's upsetting that his dog is killing his other dogs, but if we're talking game, that's pretty fucking game right there. Yeah, man. But hey, to each their own though, T. You know what I mean? Like, he likes his dogs like that, and he's willing to deal with those losses. I gotta, that's on him. I don't like taking L's. We all take them, but I don't like taking them. So I like to do the prevention shit. He, on the other hand, he wanted to see that because that's the type of dog that he wanted, and he got what he wanted. Be careful what you pray for. Be careful what you wish for. You just might. He got exactly what he wished for, what he paid for, and he's happy with it. So as long as he's happy with it and he's accepting his losses, big salute. But at the same time, for me, I knew it was in the dog. Okay, he just brought it out the dog. Okay, I knew it was in there. I put it in there, but he brought it out the dog, and now he's dealing with that. You know what I mean? So, man, I couldn't deal with that shit. Four casualties. Man, I don't know what I would do with that dog. He's killing all my dogs, man. Matter of fact, I would put him in a situation where he wouldn't be able to kill, just like I do shotgun AR-15. So he'd just be in a different situation. But to each their own. T says, do you ever think you're going to get to a point in your program where you've gotten all of the DNA you can get to improve your dogs, and the only way to continue is to inbreed? Well, T, to be real with you, I utilize all methods of breeding, whether it be inbreeding, line breeding, outcrosses. I use it, but there's a reason why I'm inbreeding. There's a reason why I'm going to do the inbreeding. See what I'm saying? It's to lock in or to emphasize on a genetic characteristics. That's the only reason why I would inbreed. Example, like I gave you guys before, is how I'm going to make my double XL pit bull choppers. If I got a double XL pit bull freak in nature, his name is AK, he was produced and conceived by an outcross. A family of dogs with a family of dogs outcross. So my genetic pool is still broad. I'm not pigeonholed with AK, but I still want his phenotype. I need that 26 inches. I need that 112 pound. I want to see that in the offspring, in my offspring. So how do I do that? How do I guarantee I'm going to see the majority of that phenotypical characteristic coming out of my puppies? I got to double down on AK. I got to double down. So that's where I would use an inbreed. Okay. But at the same time, I'm not going to keep doing it. No, hell no. Once I get those phenotypes, then guess what? I'm going to be looking for an out so I can produce better than AK. I'm not trying to be pigeon. I need to produce better. So hopefully somebody out there will have something right? But see, one thing that I do have one thing that I thought ahead, I don't have to do that for a while because I bred AK to 3 different sisters. So, and they were produced by an outcross. So I can take those, I can breed AK to all 3 variances of his daughters, take those puppies and breed those together for a little bit until I start getting pigeonholed, until I start to see those genetics break down because now it's too close and it's too tight. Now I'm seeing like, okay, now I'm losing shit. Now I can go outcross. So I got some ways before I can breed generations to keep that phenotype for, probably a few, I don't know, man, until it starts to break down. Put it that way. Put it that way, T. Until it starts to break down, I can keep breeding those offspring to offspring. And I will probably do that when it comes to those double XL pit bull choppers, just so I can keep that build of AK and then outcross later on down the road. So I still use inbreeding, if that makes sense. Hey, big salute to you, brother Eli. Carolina Blue, big salute, man. Big salute to you guys. T said, I appreciate the facts, coach. Got old heads around with their game bred 17 times some dead dog that don't see the value in a Bandog. I mean, they stuck in a box. They stuck in a box. They're not in the lab. They're not in the lab. They're not doing what I just said, which is take your family of dogs, right? Take your family that you produce, all inbred, line bred type shit, tight, 17, 20, 30 times. Then take the best out of that and get you a best outcross and cross that and see which offsprings is better and watch you get woke up. And if you don't want to take that best outcross, that battle cross that's better than your best inbred shit, you stupid as hell. You dumb. You ain't in for you're not in it for performance. You're not trying to create better dogs. If you don't take that damn dog that you use as an outcross and build off of that motherfucker, if you don't take that dog that's better than your family and build off of that, you dumb as hell. If you take that dog and then throw it right back into your family of dogs, then what you doing? You washing that shit down. You need to take that dog that's hybrid vigor produced, that's better, and build off of that shit. Create a family of dogs off of that. Let that be his own line. Don't run it back into your shit. You know what I'm saying? Make that your own line. Okay, make that a separate line and build off of that. They're not in the lab. You see what I'm saying? They're not in the lab. You in the lab, you would understand this. You would get it. But hey, to each their own, man. Live your life, dogs. He says, even after the crush, if it ain't the neck, the pit will keep going. I mean, the pit got that tenacity in the game, but man, there's other dogs with it too. The pit ain't the only one that got heart to keep going, man. I mean, they not the only ones. There's overseas, they be doing these dogs, man. They wild with the shit overseas because there ain't no laws, man. They be taking all kind of breeds and letting them go head to head. It's crazy overseas. But see, we ain't got that data to be able to see other dogs show you some shit, man. You'd be surprised to see what other dogs can do, what game dogs can do. You'd be very surprised and actually can do more than game dogs. Live Your Life Dog says, a game champ pit can kill any dog because they will go for hours while taking major pain. Other dogs won't. If the Kangal don't kill a pit quick, they in trouble because stamina comes into play respectfully. Yeah, that's true too. That's true too. But understand this. If you don't think a Kangal got stamina, all that walking, all that terrain from herding them sheep and protecting them sheep, if you don't think a Kangal got stamina, man, hey, Live Your Life Dogs, man. I mean, go. I mean, do your research on them Kangals and how many miles they be walking and terrain they be tracking, because they're to guard sheep and they be putting down a lot of miles. So them Kangals got stamina too. And real talk, if you condition a German Shepherd, if you condition a Chihuahua, you can build stamina in your dogs. It's all about conditioning. That's how you build stamina. Now, some dogs are genetically more advanced when it comes to that because they have bigger lungs, they have bigger heart, shit like that. But you condition dogs to have stamina, just like we as human beings. You know what I mean? If we work out and condition ourselves, we can run the mile. You know what I'm saying? We can do the 1500 because we've conditioned ourselves and worked ourselves out. But if we weren't coming in this bitch condition, we wouldn't be able to do a mile in a respectful time. You know what I mean? We would have to condition ourselves. So any dog can be conditioned, but at the same time, a working Kangal, that's what they do. They cover a huge amount of ground, protecting them sheep. You see what I'm saying? So it like I said, we're not going to discredit the game dogs, and we're not going to discredit. My point is, let's not discredit any breed of dog. Okay, let's not downplay a dog. Let's not call dogs curs that we ain't never touched and never experienced, never had in front of us. You see what I'm saying? That's all it is. That's all I'm trying to say. Because you never know. You know what I'm saying? Period. You never know. And these people who be talking, it's like they talk like they know already, and they know it for a fact. And it's like, bro, you wasn't in the OG's yard, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know the value of these crosses. If I'm breeding strictly for performance and not looks, I can care less if my dog look like a cross between a Tosa, a Kangal, whatever. If my dog is coming in winning, who cares? You're not going to ask me for a DNA test. As long as we got the weight and the data, if we talking about those days of the old, right, the OGs, how they was doing those in the pit, if we matching weight and the date and I come in there and smack you down, whether my dog is a mixed breed or not, what you going to say? Did I get the dub or not? I won. I don't care what you got to say. I won. Take your purebred and, do what you got to do with it. You can say my dog is a cross all you want. Did you win? Your purebred took the L. You better go back. You better find out what I crossed in my dog. If you believe my dog is a cross, you better go find out, because you just took an LL. You know what I'm saying? So who cares? And that's how it is with performance. Who cares? Performance over it all. If I got a dog that's gonna give me an advantage over you, I'm cooking it up. I'm cooking it up. If we're racing dogs and you got a purebred and we're racing pit bulls and you're beating me, I'm gonna cross my shit with a Great Dane. I don't give a fuck. I'm crossing my shit with a Great Dane. I don't care what you got to say. I'm crossing it with a Great Dane, and I'm gonna act like it's a purebred. That's what I'm gonna do. And then when I beat you, then what you gonna say? Oh, you crossed it with a Great Dane, but I still beat you with it. You better go cross yours with a Great Dane then. Because if you say mine is crossed with a Great Dane and I beat you, but then you better do it too. That's how it works with performance, you guys. That's how it works. That's how it works. Okay, T says, speaking on the Tosa, I visited, I might slaughter the name, T, Shenzhen, China, and I've seen a champion Tosa, and those mofos are dangerous. I mean, I've heard stories about Tosas, man. You got to give them respect. And that's why I say, if you ain't never touched it like T, you've seen it with your own eyes. These guys that be talking, acting like they seen one. They touched it. They calling those dogs curs. They calling a Tosa a cur. They love to throw around these damn old ass words. These old country boys and shit from the 70s used to call their dogs, hey, cur, them country motherfucker. Not everything's a cur, man. Come on. Show some respect on these dogs, man. But they don't. He says, Coach, how did you find and recognize quality breeders? It's so tough for me. I'm trying to find an American Bulldog as we speak. Trial and error. These breeders be lying to kick it, man. They do. And especially performance breeders. They, a lot of times you see like for example, right? I was looking for American Bulldogs back in the day too, and I was new to American Bulldogs. So I'm looking to the breeder to give me some advice, and I got some good advice from an OG breeder. He was telling me about the bully type American Bulldogs. He told me they was trash, and he was right. You know what I'm saying? But I wanted that phenotype, and of course I wanted them to perform, but I was new to the dogs, and he was right about them bully type American Bulldogs. They trash. I wanted them to have substance, but for you to get a dog to perform, all that substance and how they breed, those aren't going to be your performers. Okay. But it's very hard. It's hard, man. You just have to know what you're looking for. You have to do your research. You have to understand what you want out of that dog so that when you talk to these breeders, you asking them the right questions. And if they can answer it correctly and it makes sense, then you just got to roll the dice. It's a crapshoot, man. Like I said, I've spent a lot of money on dogs, believing what breeders was telling me, and I didn't get what they told me. You know what I mean? Like I got bamboozled, especially with the bullies. The bullies, man, I got bamboozled. I spent so much money on bullies, man, and got bamboozled, man, horrible. So you just got to do your research. Big the Don, do your research, man, and understand what you're looking for. And then when you talk to these breeders, ask the questions. And hopefully the answers they give you make sense. And if it makes sense to you and you feel comfortable, then roll your dice. It's a 50-50 shot. 50-50 chance you might get bamboozled and fucked like I did on a couple of my dogs, or you might score. You might get a touchdown. Because even with my American Bulldogs, right, I had my girl Big Bertha. Okay. I love that bitch. Lots of drive. I had my bitch Tigress. Now, between the two, when I got them, I got Tigress first, and then Big Bertha probably 6 months afterwards. They're half sisters. I like Big Bertha more than I like Tigress. But overall, Tigress is the better bulldog because she can perform. Big Bertha, she looked good, but she couldn't perform. She died because she couldn't perform. She overheated and had a heat stroke. Tigress ain't dying. That bitch is a pit bull. You know what I mean? Plus that bitch looked good too, by the way. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I like Big Bertha over Tigress, and then Tigress is way more superior than Big Bertha. Way more. And that bitch is a producer too. Okay, not only does she perform better, but she is a top tier producer. She produced some amazing dogs. Shout out to Tigress. So it's a roll of the dice, Jada Don. It's a roll of the dice. All right, let's see what else we got. Dave, I ain't seen Dave. Dave, welcome, man. He says, I'm yet to hear anything good about you. I hope you can prove people wrong. What are you talking about, Dave? What are you talking about? You have yet to hear anything good about me. I don't really understand. I don't understand what you mean by that. Have you done your research on me? Have you studied me? Have you watched, listened to all my lives? Have you seen my dogs? I'm sure you ain't never owned one of my dogs. I'm positive you ain't never owned one of my dogs. The only thing I can say to you, Brother Dave, hopefully you show up for more of the shows and you pay attention, but buy a dog, man. Spend your money. Spend your money. Buy a dog from me. Okay. You're going to get your chance in 2025. Buy a dog from me, and then you test it yourself. If you're a dog man that like top tier performance dogs, take it out and you test it. That's the only way you're going to hear something good about me or bad. If it's like people who talk about cars they ain't never drove. You talk about, I like Ferrari better than a Lamborghini. Have you ever drove a Ferrari? Have you ever drove a Lamborghini? No. Then how would you know? So based off of what you hear, unless you've heard things from people who own dogs that bought from me, that's only people that you really should be paying attention to as far as things about me, because then my dogs speak for themselves to the people who own them, Dave. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not taking that as a dig. I just think that you just asking a question, in particular. But the best way you're going to hear about me is owning a dog, man. Own a dog. If you like pit bulls, you're able to get one of my XL pit bull Dracos. You're able to get, my new dog that I'm about to be producing hopefully in 2025, my double XL pit bull choppers. If you're able to get one of them, if you're a pit bull guy, get one. I even told Chico Lopez, because Chico Lopez was hating too, because I had a lot of buzz. I still got it. And AK-47 chopper got a lot of buzz out there. And Chico Lopez posted my dog AK on his and called it trash. Called him trash. And I told Chico Lopez respectfully, I said, bro, this ain't 1980, Chico. This ain't 1990 in your day, bro. Until you have an AK-47 chopper in between your legs, bro, you talking, you know what I mean? You just talking Chico Lopez. You know what I mean? You talking about a dog you ain't never had in between your legs. You ain't never witnessed the power of an AK-47 chopper. You know what I mean? What's your dog's Chico Lopez? 45 pounds, 40 pounds, 1990 versions of the dog still? That, I mean, you know, in reality, Chico Lopez, your dog ain't comparing the AK-47 chopper, man. AK-47 chopper, I don't care what that dog used to do in the 90s, man. AK-47 chopper is way too strong and way too powerful for your dogs, Chico Lopez. How is it trash if you ain't never had it in between your legs, Mr. Lopez? You see what I'm saying? See how people talk about things they ain't never touched? They ain't never had an experience, they never tested before. I would never do that. I would never say to Chico Lopez that his dogs is trash. You know why? Because I ain't never owned one. I ain't never touched it. I can never, you know, I'm realistic. I would never say a Lamborghini is better than a Ferrari. You know why? Because I ain't never drove one. Neither one I never drove. So who am I as an expert to say that one is better than the other? You see what I'm saying, Dave? If that makes sense. So if you want to understand me, pay attention in class, go back, listen, check out my dogs, beautiful dogs I got. If you really want to know about me, get your money right. Buy one, man. Buy one. So then you can see for yourself what I'm about and what my dogs represent. You know what I mean? Why I'm the Formula One of this shit. You know what I'm saying? I stand by what I do. I stand by what I do. You know what I mean? And if you a superior dog man, Dave, then you're going to get the best out of my dogs. I guarantee it. I guarantee you'll get the best out of it, man. Real shit, Dave. Guarantee you will. But big salute to you, man. Dave says a lot of breeders over the past 5 years or so have reported being trashed by you, and they are what? Man, what? 5 years, bro. Hey, brother Dave, I'm gonna keep it real with you. You see, the facts that you getting, Dave, is false because I ain't been out here to the public since 2021. As far as like selling dogs to the public. So 5 years, I doubt it. And I don't trash nobody, brother Dave. Brother Dave, I never talk bad about. Why would I talk bad about anybody? I never do that. So I don't know where you're getting your information from. You see what I'm saying, brother Dave? Brother Dave, I don't know where you're getting your information from, man. It's not me. It's not the dog god. I've never trashed not one breeder. Even when talking about what I heard on Buck Cities, I gave them nothing but respect. I give everybody respect. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to trash no breeders, Dave. So whoever told you that is misleading you, which, you know, I mean, they can. You know, I talk very confident about what I do because I really do it, Dave. I really have the dogs. I really create my own dogs. So I talk very highly because I'm in the field with it. You know what I'm saying? If I wasn't in the field with it, then I'll be a poser. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not. I live this shit. I'm the dog god. I live it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, hopefully now that you're talking to me directly and now that you know you paying attention and you know you in my classroom, you'll see that I don't ever talk trash about any breeders. Why? I mean, I give everybody their respect. I don't need to talk trash. I'm me. I worry about what I do in my yard. You know what I'm saying? I worry about my dogs. I never talk trash about other people's dogs. I'm not the master of all trolls. Y'all know that guy, the master of all trolls, aka the master of all so-called bulldogs. I ain't him. That's who talk about everybody. I don't do that, Dave. You know what I'm saying? I give everybody their respect. Dave says, maybe you could help me then. I'm looking for a dog like my old boy Pig. He was 1.5 AB and 1.5 pit. He protected me at 14 months old by ripping an ear off a golden retriever off his head. Any help? 2025, Dave, I have multiple different types of dogs coming up, hopefully. You know, if there's something that you like, you know, your money got to be right, Dave. I'm gonna let you know that right now. If you want a cheap dog, you're not getting one from me, man. This just is what it is. But if you really like want something of a level, okay, high level, of performance, maximum prey, maximum man drive, superior athleticism, wow factor, on-off switch, brains. Okay, spend your money with me, man. You will not be disappointed. You will not be disappointed. Spend your money with me. You know what I'm saying? Do as I tell all my consumers, Dave, when they get my dogs. For the first year, build your relationship with this dog. Love on it. Don't worry about turning it on. Don't try to make it mean. Don't do none of that type of shit, Dave, with my dogs. Love on my dogs. Socialize it. Be his best friend. Be his leader. You know what I mean? For the first year, if you get one of my dogs, don't worry about that dog turning on because it will turn on its own. It's built. It's in the dog already. The dog will turn on. So you love on my dog. You build a rapport. You socialize with the dog. You let my dogs trust you as the pack leader. Okay. Respect your rules and regulations. Respect your family. Okay. Then you're gonna get one of the best dogs you ever owned in your life because that's what I do. So, yeah, just stay in tune with me, Dave. But man, I don't talk bad about nobody, Dave. That's not me, Dave. You know what I'm saying? I respect everybody. And hopefully, as you continue to check me out, participate in these lives and shit, you'll see that's just my wave, man. I'm not that type of guy, brother. You know what I mean? So hope your information is wrong about me. Hopefully you'll see it differently, man. But respect, Dave. Appreciate your comment. Hey, student for life, that's me, man. Student for life, that's me. I stay in my own lane, man. I'm proud of my lane. My lane is a road less traveled. Student for life. Okay, I'm a pioneer. Okay, I do me. I'm not here to do anybody else. I respect everybody what they do, but I'm doing me. And most people ain't gonna do what I do, which that's fine. That's why I'm me. That's why I'm a pioneer. Because I'm not here to do what everybody else does. I'm here to set a tone, to create a lane for others who want to be pioneers, others who are not afraid to do them. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm here to do through my example. Not just talking about it. We talking about it tonight. We talk on Thursday nights. That's why it's dog talk. That's why it's Bandog talk. We talk on Thursday nights. But me as the dog god, student for life, me as the coach, I'm in the field doing it every day, no days off, living it. Blood, sweat, and tears, blood, sweat, and dog shit. That's what I do every day. I'm dealing with these dogs. So yeah, man, that's me, man. That's me. Yeah. Hey, tell them, T. Stay tuned in, Dave. You know what I'm saying? Tell them, T. Real life. We really trying to do this shit. And do it at a level too. We trying to do it at a level, Dave. At a high level. Dave said, I paid $17.50 for my wife and daughter's female corgi a few years ago. Now it's my turn. Hey, much respect. You know what I mean? Hey, any money for a dog is money. I don't care if you pay $500. I don't care if you pay $200. Any money is money, and it's hard-earned money. You see what I'm saying? It's hard-earned money. So respect to you, Dave. You know what I'm saying? Respect to you, man. Just be on the lookout. You know what I mean? You got to save a little bit more than $17.50 for one of my dogs, though. But be on the lookout. If you see something you like, you know what I mean, that I got cooking up in 2025, just be ready. Be ready, and you're gonna get something. You're gonna get something that is going to impress you, for sure. Because that's the level of play that I'm at. That's where I'm at, and the cookups that I got coming, with AK-47 and Silver Bullet. Oh my gosh. You want a Bandog? Oh, the AK-74 Bandog that I'm going to be producing again with AK and Silver Bullet. Oh my gosh. That right there is going to be too much dog. You know what I mean? So hopefully you want something like that, or you want one of my sporting dogs I'm gonna produce for those guys who like them sporting dogs, but they want a sport dog that is not just a sport dog, it's like a hybrid. It's a sport dog, and then it's a real life action dog. Get one of them bull herders, them double XL and them XL bull herders that I'm gonna be producing. You know what I mean? With AK and my Malinois and AK and my Kangol. Get one of those if you want you a sport dog hybrid, you know what I mean? You can use for sport and then you can use for the real thing too. You know what I mean? Get you one of those as well. Student for Life says, when you're doing your thing like you're doing, we say you ain't got time to talk about others. Facts. Like I said, I give respect. I'm just that type of man. You know what I mean? Like, even if I don't like something that you're doing, I'm just gonna let you do you. I mean, I'm not here to come. Who am I to comment on what you're doing unless you ask me to comment, right? You know what I mean? Unless you ask me for my opinion, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna really, you know, I mean, I ain't really got too much to say. You know, I had to say what I had to say when I heard what I heard on Buck City's channel, though. Okay, because they talking about band dogs and things, and they talking about dogs that they've never touched that are curs, and all these things that I know for a fact in my realm. That shit don't play with y'all talking about. Y'all, that shit don't play. You know what I mean? Like, there's people who own Tosas and shit like that will have to disagree with you because they actually touch them. They actually deal with them. They might have had situations where they had competitions with pit bulls and defeated them. You know what I'm saying? So we can't speak like that. That's why I had to say what I had to say. You know what I mean? Like, I've had dogs, like I mentioned, that I've sold to clients that have killed game dogs. So he would have to beg to differ when you talk down, your people talking down on band dogs like band dogs as pieces of shit like that. So that's the only time that I comment, but I did it respectfully. I didn't talk bad about his panel. I didn't talk bad about him. You know what I'm saying? I just voiced my opinion on my platform about what they said. See, I did it respectfully. And that's me as a man. You know what I mean? I give everybody respect that give me respect. You know what I mean? I ain't got time for the petty shit. Dave says, I was hit by a drunk driver and had a broken back and was getting growled at, and the owner wouldn't get his dog. I wasn't walking right, and Pig knew I was very hurt. That's why he stepped in. Yep, dogs got that sixth sense. I call it that sixth sense. Dogs know when you're in danger, man, especially when you build that relationship. You know what I'm saying? You also asked, he says, what do you breed? Multiple type of dogs. Dave, I create my own dogs, by the way, Dave. You know what I'm saying? So my recipe is mine. I got my own line of pit bulls. I call it, one is an XL pit bull Draco, and I'm producing another one called a double XL pit bull Chopper. I got my own line of bulldogs called Formula One Bulldogs. I got my own line of band dogs. I got Formula One band dogs. I got AK-74 band dogs, and I had an AR-15 band dogs that's now going to be Formula One bulldogs. I got my own line of performance French bulldogs. I got my own line of bullies, which I'm discontinued. I got performance bullies, and I got performance pit bullies, which I'm discontinuing as well. But I still got those lines. So I produce my own line of dogs. All are high performance level working dogs. That's what I produce. That's why I'm the Formula One of this shit, Dave. High performance. You want a high performance working dog built like a Formula One racing car, built in that same type of concept? That's why you deal with me. You know what I mean? You want something exotic, something that you ain't gonna get nowhere else, but you coming to Formula One to get it. That's where you get dogs from me. That's why you get dogs from me, for that level of dog. You know what I'm saying? T says, shitting on other people's dogs doesn't do anything anyways. If someone wants to buy from them, then they're going to buy from them regardless of what anyone else says. Yeah, that's a fact. That's why, like you said, it's why downplay another dog, man, and what they do with their dogs. And plus, that's feminine, man. Talking bad about another man and stuff like that. Girls do that shit, man. And with the internet, that's big. Other men talking down on other men. That's big on the internet because it gets views. That drama shit done fell on over to the men and shit. You know what I'm saying? It used to be a different level of respect. You know what I mean? We wasn't in it for the drama. Now, that drama get views and stuff like that. So people's all about talking shit about people. And that's not what I'm here to do, man. You know what I mean? That's why, real talk, you guys, that's why when you see me post, you might hear my voice, but it ain't about me. It's about the dogs. You see nothing but dogs on there. You hear me narrate every now and then for the dogs, but you ain't about Coach. It's about the dogs. You know what I'm saying? It's about the dogs. That's what I'm here for. I'm here for the dogs. And also I'm here to help my brothers. You know what I mean? My sisters who want to do dogs at a high level, I'm here to help you guys through my example, though. You know what I mean? It's different when you live in it and you showing people through your example. You know what I mean? It's a whole different type of walk when you can teach somebody by your example. That's what I do, right? I'm in the field playing the game, then I come off the field and I coach. I coach what I play. So there's value in the things that I'm telling you guys because it's in the field. It's EA Sports in the game. You can use that shit today. This is not old shit that we was running in 1980. You know what I mean? This ain't old dog talk from 1990. This ain't old dog talk from early 2000. This is 2025, 2024 dog talk. Right? That we can use as dogmen right now and know that the shit works. That's how I'm coming. You know what I mean? That's the level that I'm playing at. Okay? Because like I said, I want to inspire you guys to be pioneers of this shit. I want to see next level dogs. I would love to see what you create that got me excited enough to be like, yo, I got to get me some of that shit. No, wow. It's like, you know what I mean? Like that right there inspires me when I see something that you as a dog man took your time and effort in and really calculated and was in the lab and you cooked up something that's just top tier, man. I like that shit. Okay? Because that's what I'm on. So we just keep raising the bar with each other, right? We keep getting better, right? If I'm number one this year and you like, coach, I'm gonna beat you next year, and then you beat me next year, like I'm not gonna hate on you because you produced a better dog than me, because you put in a little bit more work than me and you got the edge on me. I'm not gonna hate on you. I'm gonna be like, yo, I'm gonna salute you, I'm gonna lift you up, I'm gonna praise you, and guess what? You and me are gonna have friendly competition. You understand? Me and you as dog brothers, we're gonna have friendly competition. And then I'm going to utilize you and your efforts and your achievements to elevate me. And then hopefully I will motivate you to have friendly competition to elevate yourself. And then we just keep raising the bar on these niggas. That's how it's supposed to be. Right? Not, oh man, his dogs ain't shit. Oh man, he's selling more dogs than me. Oh, his dogs ain't better than mine. No. If his dogs is that, I'm giving you your props. Period. Yo, man, bro. You got to give it to him, man. He number one. He doing his thing, man. Look at his dogs. Look at the work he put in. I can't knock that. I could if I want to be feminine like today's dog men and women of today. Everybody want to downplay people. If I want to be that type of man, I could, but that's not who I am. That's not in my nature. I ain't feminine like that. I'm a man with it. I respect other men who raise the bar. Okay? So that's that. You know what I mean? Big salute to you, T, man. You always come with the realness, T. You always come with the realness, man. And hey, student for life, yeah. I'm the man behind the dogs. But the dogs is in the forefront, student for life. It's about the dogs. It's not about me. I'm the coach. You know what I'm saying? I let my team shine. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? I'm in the background. You know what I'm saying? My players is the dogs. I let them score the touchdowns and get all the press. I don't need the press. You don't need to see me. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to support the dogs, make the dogs better, put the dogs in a good light. You know what I mean? And then, like I said, if I can help my fellow dogmen do the same, then I'm doing my job as I'm giving back. I'm not hoarding it. I'm giving it back. I'm giving it back. Dave says, I'm looking for about 100 pounds and a male. Our little corgi Jojo is too small for me. Let's see. I don't really breed. For me, Dave, I don't really breed dogs for weight. You know, whatever the genetic, pool gives me as far as size, I take it. You know what I mean? I breed dogs for overall performance. So, you might get a dog that's 85 pounds from me. You might get a dog that's 120 pounds from me. It just depends on what you pick and how you pick your dogs out. So my main concern is overall performance. Frames, brains, and motors is not necessarily size. So you could get a dog that's 100 pounds from me, possibly. But I just can't. I just don't guarantee size and shit. Oh, hey coach, you got 120-pound dogs? I'm never gonna tell you like, yeah, I got those type of dogs. Like I don't breed dogs for that. You know what I mean? I need them to be whatever God manifest that production to be. I need it to be his best. So if it is a 100-pound dog, it better be the fastest, strongest, most intense 100-pound dog on the planet. You know what I mean? Like it's got to be that. It's got to perform whatever weight that dog is. It got to perform at the highest capacity of his weight. Period. So, but at the same time, you never know, man. You know what I mean? You never know. So by the time you're ready, and by the time I got something, I can probably help you with that. But I don't know. I really don't breed for size, though, Dave. He said, I feel you, but there would be no dogs without the man. Yeah. Yeah. But again, do you want to be in the forefront or your dogs? You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying, student for life. A lot of guys want to be in the forefront. They're the star of the show, not the dogs. And I'm not knocking them. Remember, we're not here to knock how you pioneer or how you move with your dogs. Some people want to be in the forefront. Those are those type of people. I want my dogs to be known. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you can give me the respect for cooking them up. You know what I mean? The producer, yeah, that's coach, but the artist, the superstar is the dogs. I don't want to be the superstar. My dog, AK, and all of them, and the dogs are the superstars. I'm just the promoter. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no, salute, student for life. I know we saying the same thing. Dave said, you sound selfless. I'm picking up what you putting down. Dave, I mean, bro, to be a dog man, you got to be selfless, man. It's a lot of sacrifice to be a dog man, a real one. A lot of sacrifice, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. Like I say, a lot of blood, sweat, and dog shit. And that's why I say you pick up your haters, Dave. Dave, you pick up your haters when you out here doing what I'm doing. And just anybody who's out here pioneering and standing on something, I get a lot of haters, but they really fans though, because they know I'm doing something that they admire. That's why they hate it. You know what I mean? They know I'm doing something that they admire, so they gotta downplay me. They in their heart they can't give me they can't give me the props in their heart, because then it's like, okay, well, this man is doing something that I ain't never thought of doing. You know what I mean? Like, this man really got them type of dogs he talk about. But since I ain't thought of it and it ain't the popular thing, I'm gonna downplay him and shit. I'm gonna see if I can take him off his pedestal, but it never works for me. So yeah, you got to be selfless, man, when you're dealing with these dogs. There's a lot of sacrifice. It's a lot of sacrifice, a lot of money too, a lot of time. See what else we got here, man. And facts, student for life. That's what speaks for me right there. My work, my dogs speak for me. My dogs speak for me, man. Hey, also, Dave, if you don't, if you on Instagram, go check out my Instagram. If you go to my profile page on YouTube, it has my link, but my Instagram is the Dog God, aka the Coach. Okay, the Dog God, aka the Coach. Go to my IG and just scroll down, man, and look at the dogs, man. Just look at the dogs. And me and brother Eli was talking about this a couple days ago, or maybe even a day ago or something like that. Me and brother Eli. So the brother Eli, man. He has a guy who does dogs, and I guess he was showing him my dogs, and he was saying like, man, he don't have no, he don't have no stuff for the dogs, doing any type of bite work and stuff like that. And I was just telling brother Eli that, like I was telling y'all a little bit earlier today or tonight on the live, is like, bro, I don't need to have my dogs bite no sleeve to let you know that my dogs will bite you, man. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need to do that. That's fun and games. I got a French bulldog that'll tear a bite sleeve up, man. Go ham on it too. Look good at it doing it too. He love it. He like biting that shit. He just like, but to me, that's play to me. AK, he'll go ham on a bite sleeve. He like to bite shit. He got a bite fetish, my boy AK. So but that doesn't, for me, because I don't do that in a sport, right? I don't do Schützen type work. I don't need that. I don't need to show my dogs biting the sleeve. For me to tell you as a consumer that these dogs will bite this, man, these dogs will kill you. I can tell you that if that dog bites you, he's gonna crush your bone. You know what I mean? Like, I can tell you as a consumer, this dog is bred to bite hard. You don't have to put on a sleeve, agitate it, make it bite to know that it can bite. So I don't have to show my dogs in that capacity. I told you guys before, I have all the equipment because I was going to do Schützen work with AK when I bought him. But then it was only me, and I'm not letting my dog bite me because I don't allow my dogs to bite me. That's a rule. They don't bite me. So I don't have the help. My nephew said he would get in a bite suit, but that changed. And because I'm a one-man band, I'm focusing more on conditioning, right? That's my thing. Conditioning, making my, seeing my dog's potential as an athlete versus seeing their potential as a biter, right? Developing their mind, developing their dog awareness, right? I can do that as a one-man band. I ain't got to get in a suit. I ain't got to tie my dog up to a pole and make him bite me on the arm on my bite sleeve. I don't have to do that because I've seen my dogs bite enough, right? I've seen them bite enough to understand that, you know what, these dogs can bite. So just like I told Brother Eli, like, bro, I ain't got to show that shit. You know what I mean? I know my dogs will bite the shit out you. That's it. That's all I need to know. You know what I mean? And that's it. So, Dave, check out. Okay, type in the dog god, aka the coach. Type that in, man. That's me. You know what I mean? That's me. Look at the dogs. Have a field day, man. You know what I mean? Beautiful dogs on there. Beautiful, 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 beautiful dogs, man. But let me give everybody a shout out, man. We had a great live. I wanted to talk about this today just based off the fact that I was hearing that. Shout out to Buck City, man. If y'all ain't haven't followed him, go check him out, man. It talks about pit bulls, game pit bulls. He got a good little show and stuff like that. He got a lot of does lives almost every day. Go check him out, man. But yeah, I have to defend the Bandog. I got to defend us breeders who understand how to breed these high performance working dogs, who understand that mixing is required. Okay. Mixing is required. Crossing dogs is required. If you want high performance working dogs, if you just want some okay dogs, then keep inbreeding. That's my opinion based off my experience. All right. Based off of my experience, that is my opinion. Other than that, if that's how you want to cook up your dogs, if you just want to inbreed, line breed all the time, that's what y'all do. Do you? However, try it my way. Like I told you, breed your family of dogs. Take your best out of that family. Got to be the best one now. Got to be the best one. Okay, don't take a mid-grade one out of there. Take the best one. Get you a male or female out of that one, whatever. Matter of fact, get the best female. Get the best female. Female is more valuable than the males. Out of your family of dogs. And then go get you a stud that matches the attributes or has better so that you can add and breed those together and then compare offspring. And then, right there, it's going to tell you, you'll come back. You might reach me in the DMs and be like, man, hey, coach, I was listening to you live, man. At first I was an unbeliever, and I did the experiment because we got to do the experiment. We got to get the data. I did the experiment, and you were right, man. You know what I mean? Thank you for that information. You were right. I humbled myself down. I followed the playbook that you gave me. You gave me a winning playbook. You said follow it. I followed it, I tested it and it worked. Man, thanks, coach. And that's what you will say. I know you're gonna say that because the playbook is in action right now. It's winning. There's others that have done it and they've won with it. So I didn't reinvent the wheel. I just followed it. I followed a playbook that was already there. Okay. Eye right, pitch right was a play that has been working since the play was drawn up. I just followed that shit. And I just added my own recipe to it and produced better dogs. And that's all we talking about tonight. You feel me? That's all we are talking about tonight. So hopefully you guys got it. Hopefully you guys understand. You understood my point. Okay. And don't get caught up in hearing these things from these people who aren't in the field living it. They're just spectators talking. Okay. And if you're not in the field, you might be a believer of that spectator talk. You really might. Until you come across a player coach like myself, right? And then you hear from somebody who's actually doing it today. And they're telling you straight up and down, like, bro, don't believe that bullshit. That's bullshit, man. Don't be calling dogs curves that you ain't never touched in your fucking life. Don't do that. You sound ignorant and stupid when you do that shit. You sound dumb. You sound like a hater. You know what I mean? Don't be acting like these inbred dogs are better than cross dogs. Don't do that shit. You ain't never experienced it before. That's why you talking like that. Don't do that shit, man. Don't do that shit. Okay. Go do your experiments and then let's look at your data, man. Let's be honest and look at the data. And then if the data is telling you what it is telling you, be honest with yourself. And then once you're honest with yourself, follow the right answer. Don't be like, well, I'm still going to do it my way. Don't do that to yourself. You'll never progress. Your dog program will never progress. It'll stay in 1980 and 1990 forever. Matter of fact, it'll just regress because it'll never be the same as those dogs of the past. You'll never recreate the dog from the past. You know why? Because the dog is from the past. It's already dead. It's gone. It's gone. The genetics that you use today from that old dog, you can't find that mama. You can't use that old dog and that same mom to produce the same dog. And then even if you did, you're not producing the same dog. When your mommy and daddy have sex, have a baby, unless they're twins coming out the same womb, none of the kids are the same. Even though you got brothers and sisters, there's a variance of you and your brothers and sisters, even though you come from the same mom. You understand that? So you'll never be able to recreate them dogs from the past. Why are we trying to? Why are you trying to? Why are you inbreeding, line breeding? Why? For what? Because the pedigree gets you money? Okay, think about that, y'all, before we close out. Okay, don't get caught up in the hype of this shit, man. You know, don't get caught up in the allure of these names of these dogs and the past. Don't get caught up in that, man. If you breeding performance dogs, if you're not thinking like car dealerships, car manufacturers, if you're not thinking like race car teams, motorcycle race teams, if every year your program ain't getting better, if every year you're not adding a different component to your dog, if your dogs are looking the same, if your fucking 2025 dogs is looking like your 1980 dogs you played out, you failed. You failed. You failed as a dog man. You failed. If your 2025 dogs is performing like your 1980 dogs, you failed. Hang up your dog man coat. You are fired. You're fired. Because if you're not modeling yourself like all the other performance type industries, if you're not getting better like they're getting better with your dogs, then you're missing the boat. Why are you in the dogs then? Why are you in the dogs? If I got my foundation, his name is AK-47 Chopper, but 10 years down the road, I ain't got his son and his daughters that is better than him, then I failed. I failed AK. If his sons and daughters ain't more of a star than he is, then I failed as a dog breeder. I failed AK. He's like, Dad, I put my genetics in your hands, Dad. I was a super producer for you, Dad. But at the same time, you were supposed to make my kids, my legacy better than me. Why are my legacy not better than me? Why were you trying to copy me? Why were you trying to clone me? You know you can't clone me unless you go and do that clone shit, take me to Japan or whatever, get me cloned. But still, that's still not the same me, even though that's a clone me. But at the end of the day, you're supposed to make my legacy better. That's how my dog is speaking to me, right? You're going to breed me. Make sure you breed me to make my legacy. Make sure when I pass on, Dad, that my kids are better than me. That's what my son, that's what AK tells me. Right? I believe that that's what he wants from me when I breed him. That's how you guys need to think about your programs. Okay? And you're not going to get that from inbreeding and line breeding. You're just not going to get that. You have to be creative. You have to be a dog engineer. You need to study genetics, breeding techniques from other breeds. Performance breeds, though. Performance breeds, not just any breeds. Performance breeds. How other animals, people who breed other animals for performance, how they breed. Study them. Study them. Be like, okay, but damn it. They done this, they did this, this is the mistakes they made, this is why they breed this way. Then you'll understand the science of how you're supposed to breed. Then you'll understand the science of the shit. Then you understand the genetic mathematics. And then you get in your lab and you draw something up and then you cook it up and then you have it and you keep it all and you analyze it and assess it and get your data. That's how we do this shit, man. That's how you do this. If you want to do it another way, so be it. So be it. So be you. To each their own. However, you want to get ahead, please pay attention in class. Please apply and follow the playbooks. And watch you get the same results as me and others before me and others right now who are doing the same thing. Watch how you get them type of results. You understand? So big salute to all you guys, man. Big salute to all you guys, man. Hey, data and performance. Student for life. Data and performance. I mean, we breeding performance dogs, right? We breeding performance dogs, right? We got to analyze what we breeding. We got to heighten the performance every time we do a breeding. It's got to get better. I got a race car team. My shit got to be faster. I am not going to be the same speed as I was in 2024 and 2025. Go ahead. Hey, go ahead, T. Go ahead and ask your question, man. I'm not going to be this. I got to get faster every year. Every year, my dogs got to be better. If not, then I ain't doing my job. I mean, shit. I ain't doing my. Why am I breeding these dogs then? Why? You know what I mean? If I want somebody to pay for my dogs, I gotta give them what they. Matter of fact, I gotta give you more than what you pay for, man. I gotta make you want to come back. I gotta make you like, yo, man. I gotta get that other model. Man, if this AK-74 Bandog is fire, man, I gotta get one of them Formula 1 Bulldogs too. Okay, T says, let's say your program has failed and you're left with 5 dogs that are failures. Where do you go from there? How do you rebound? Well, watch this. With my program, T, I have my genetic variance is broad. So, for example, when you keep a litter of dogs, I might have 9 dogs that I've kept. I have 9 options and 9 tries to see genetically if my genetic cook-up produces the dogs that will succeed and be able to carry on the next generation. I just don't have, I'm not limited to 1 or 2 dogs out of that genetic pool. So I'm pretty much guaranteed to have, out of those 9 dogs, if I had 9 in the litter, I'm guaranteed to have at least 30%. I'm, three out of the 9, 4 out of the 9, maybe 50% of the dogs that will pass my test. And also, too, you got to understand, too, with your program, every dog is a piece. And if you have multiple different dogs that bring different genetic characteristics, you can always interchange genetic parts to see what you can get at the end. So because I have a variety to choose from the same genetic pool, my options of success, or my opportunity for success is more than likely, right? It's more than likely to happen than to fail. Does that make sense, T? You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Because I have a lot to choose from that one genetic cook-up. I have 9 options. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Right? Because every dog is different. You're not going to be able to tell me from a puppy that dog is the best representative of those genetic characteristics. You can't do it. Not if you're realistic about your program, you can't. Like I said, the dog that you least expect, right? Right. For example, I'm gonna give you an example, T. And all my bitches, all those bitches, those sisters are producers, by the way. The example I'm about to give you. But my girl Tiny, my smallest, she was the runt. Okay. That bitch is a superior producer, man. That bitch done produce me some top tier type dogs. Now, me, if I wasn't planning on keeping that whole litter because that was the last of those genetics, so I kept it. I would have sold her for the low because she was a runt. To me, she's the smallest. I would have sold her for the low. I would have missed out on her genetics and her being a fucking phenomenal producer. I would have missed out. You see what I'm saying? That's why it's important. If you really cooking up dogs and you in it for the genetics, you have to keep them all. If you really want the real data, from the genetics that you spent money on, you have to keep all the puppies. And then you have to breed them to see which one is going to be a better producer. Because you don't know that. You can have a dog that is superior in performance, in looks, but is not a good producer. I know you've heard of that before. I know y'all have heard of that before. A dog is a superior performer, superior looker, but it can't produce himself or better, or herself or better. That happens. It's just, it happens. It doesn't make sense sometimes, right? You would think like, damn, if you look at, you should be able to produce it, but that's just how genetics work sometimes. That's just how breeding works sometimes. You know what I mean? It just, So when you keep the whole litter, your chances of having a success in your program is greater. It's greater. So, I mean, I get myself 40% chance, because I know I have options. I'm not pigeonholed to one dog or 2 dogs. I have options. Period. So let's see. What else we got here, man? What else y'all got? Y'all got any more questions before we close it out? Hey, good questions, y'all. Y'all cooking on the questions, man. Big salute to you on that. And Dave, man, you know, hey, if people talking bad about me, man, it is what it is. They gonna do it, man. But I'm glad you asked the question. I'm glad you chimed in. You know what I mean? You know, I don't roll dice like that, brother. And as you stay tuned in, you follow me, you'll see that I don't operate like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, motherfuckers be hating on me in the chat or in the comment sections. You know, I'll be like, hey, it sounds good, spectator. You know, I deal with them accordingly, man, because I know they really fans and shit. They just fans. You know what I mean? So, you know, I'm glad you showed up though, brother. Hopefully you show up again. Every Thursday night, we always cooking, man. We always cooking, and you know, this is where we learn. You know what I mean? Like this is the classroom. This is not entertainment. You want to be entertained? There's other shows that podcasts that entertain you, but over here we in the classroom, and we in the classroom 2025. You feel me? We 2024, 2025. We right now. You know what I'm saying? We're not going in the past and shit. We're not on that Michael J. Fox Back to the Future and shit. We right now. You feel me? Right now today. So if you're trying to get on that level, that's where we at. Period. Period. Hey, let me give y'all a shout out before I close out, man. Everybody a shout out one more time, and then I'll close out. All right, man. Pole position goes too, man. I gotta give you a clap, man. Big J the Don. Pole position. Nah, he got that shit. Duravicio, you was right there, man. You're right there. Slid in at 610, early bird special, but Big J the Don, man. You chimed in at 521 for that pole position, man. Nah. So, hey, big salute to you, J the Don. Duravicio, man, I appreciate you too. You already know, man. I appreciate your support all the way through. Much love and respect, man. One dog man to the next, one brother to the next. Much love and respect. Knock them down. You already know what time it is, man. Appreciate your subscription over there on IG, man. You know, you got one. You got a real dog man coach. You got a real friend. You got a real brother, man. Any questions you have, I'm here for you, brother. Real shit. I'll make time for you. You know, you want to hit me up on the jack anytime. You know, that's that. You know, that's what my subscribers get. They get that one-on-one, man. You know what I mean? Anytime you want me to pick my brain on anything, I'm here for you. I'm here to see you win, man. And like I said, I appreciate your support, man. Big T, man. You already know what time it is with you, man. You know what I mean? Great questions, great knowledge you got, brother. I appreciate your participation. I appreciate your support, all the shit that you bring over here to the chat. And got a lot of respect for you, T. I appreciate you, family. Big salute to you. Jerry Hurley, man. Much love and respect, brother. Thank you, man. Royalty Methods, you too, brother. I appreciate your support. Much love and respect. Big Bill, man. You already know what time it is, man. I appreciate you spending money with me, you know, breaking bread with me, buying one of my dogs, you know, getting to see for yourself, getting a spectacular deal, taking care of taking advantage of the times. But you got you a top tier dog. I see her. You know, I love what you're doing with her, with your dogs and working her, man. She's looking amazing, all muscled out. I mean, and I'm glad you're happy too, Bill. Real talk. Big salute to your family. Let's see about Young Ready Red. Big salute to your family. Thank you for your support too, as well, brother. Much love and respect. See who else we got here. Seth Johnson, man. I don't know if this is your first time, man, but hopefully, again, you'll show up every Thursday night, man. We cooking, brother. You know, if you got any questions, I normally tell all my fellow chatters, man. You know, I always answer y'all's questions normally after, because I'm cooking. So once I'm done cooking, I get to y'all's questions. You know what I'm saying? So if you ever have any questions or anything that you hear, you know, just put it in the chat and I'll make sure I'll get to you. I'll make sure I get to everybody. Live your life, dogs, man. hit me up in the DM, man. You know what I mean? You want to politic, you know what I mean? You want to chop it up. You know, if you got a live, you want me on your live or whatever like that, man, I'll chop it up with you. I'll get up in there with you. You know what I mean? I ain't got no problem with that, man. But I appreciate your support as well, man. Appreciate your knowledge too, brother. Big salute to you. See who else we got. I don't want to miss nobody. Carolina Blue, man. Hey, Carolina Blue's the one that told me about Chico. You know what I mean? He told me that Chico was over there, have my boy AK on blast. So big salute to you, Carolina Blue. You know what I mean? Much love and respect, and thank you for your support. Brother Eli, man. Much love and respect to you, Brother Eli. I appreciate you, man. You already know what time it is, man. Me and your relationship. You know, brothers, friends, comrades. You know what I mean? Appreciate your knowledge and your feedback too, man, and your support too, Brother Eli. You know what I'm saying? Another one of my subscribers. Don't want to miss nobody, you guys. Show enough. Big salute to you, family. You know what I mean? Thank you for your support as well. Show enough. Hey, show enough. If you want to, if you really want to know what type of dogs I got, man, go ahead and make sure you get one. If I got one that you like, man, get one, brother. You get to see for yourself. You get to see for yourself, man. And I know you're a pit bull dude too, man. So if I got one of them XL pit bull Draco breedings, or if I got, that new one I'm about to cook up, that double XL pit bull chopper, get one of those. You know what I'm saying? And then, bring them around them dog, man. All them dog chats that, dog shows, them game dog shows you be around, bring one of those around them niggas. You know what I mean? And then when that dog perform, then come back over here and holler at me in the back chat, be like, man, coach, you know what I mean? Man, salute, coach. You wasn't capping when it came to your dogs, nigga. You know what I mean? That's what you're gonna say, show enough. Man, hey, coach, you wasn't capping, man. You were a good salesman, man, but you wasn't capping on what you were selling. Dogs is the truth. Big Dave, man. Thank you, man. Thank you for showing up. Any questions you have too, brother, man, hit me in the DM or, whatever. Hopefully by the time you're ready to buy a dog, you can get something from me, man. And I'm sure you and your family will be happy. My dogs are great family dogs, great family guardians, but they the real deal, brother Dave. Dave, my dogs are the real deals though. So if you want some killers, but great with the family, on-off switch, I put them in my dogs. But my dogs are real life killers, man. Maximum prey and maximum man drive. You want something like that can neutralize a suspect or neutralize prey, but at the same time, good with your kids, good with your wife, good social, very social dogs, man. Balanced dog, man. Save your money up, man. I got something for you. I promise you won't be disappointed. I think I made sure I shouted everybody out. Like I said, very grateful for you guys, man. I really am. Whether we got 9 people in the chat, whether we got, 2 people in the chat, it don't matter. We gonna lay it down regardless. I'm gonna try my best to stay consistent. I only missed one Thursday because it was the 4th of July, but I also told you guys ahead of time that, my wife had something planned. So, but other than that, I try to make time every Thursday night to get out here and we can talk these dogs and, really get down to the nitty gritty, really get into this classroom and break everything down, man. But I do appreciate everybody. Definitely want to give y'all respect and y'all salutes. And then until next time, next Thursday, we're going to cook it up. We're going to do what we got to do, man. Much love and respect, y'all. I'm out.